What's going on, Duckers? And thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Decoy live stream podcast. The thing where the chat has to disappear for, I think, the first 5 minutes. I think it's like a rule or something like that. So I'm glad you're checking in, watching me while you're at the gym and everything. That's pretty cool. Glad to see people over on, what is it, on Twitch, YouTube mainly. Looks like, I don't even know if I can see the numbers of everything. Looks like I got 120 on YouTube, so which is cool. That's interesting. Last live stream on Monday, I tried to do a different type of multi-stream software, and that just failed. Like, I honestly was not on any of the alternative platforms whatsoever. I think we were on Twitch, we were on YouTube. It is what it is. You're complaining about the Wi-Fi on your end, but it's bizarre. Like, I should have good connection. Like, chat, just push Y if I'm good, or N if it's lagging out for you, because it should be okay right now. I honestly think that the way my connectivity says it's green, but then on my multicast thing, it says it's like fair. Like, it's not connecting well. Looks like everybody says it's good. Like, everybody says it's good. So we're chilling over here. And the music, I think, is a good level. I got a couple new songs that are in the background, so let's hopefully it doesn't become what do you call it? Inappropriate. Like, okay, I guess I'll just play one of them. This is supposed to be AI rendition of like Weather Channel background. But something tells me that it could possibly be inappropriate if we're talking about like war, people, civilians getting caught in the crossfire. That might not be okay. So maybe we cut that one off. I don't know. Audio levels are good. Okay, thanks. Oh, thanks to Neobach Truck for being over here. Yeah, I saw a meme about how the Weather Channel is reintroducing their old style of what it looks like. So I'm trying to get someone to give me some Weather Channel like this BRB screen. I think it would be cool if that was like the Weather Channel, so we'll figure it out. And the music's kind of... I feel like the music is so far in the background, it doesn't really matter. But okay, I got some topics pulled up, and we're going to talk about a lot of different stuff. But let me know, chat, what do you think we need to talk about today? You might have to wait for the clip video because it's pausing too much. I don't know what that is. Just record myself telling the weather like fake places. The UK being cooked. We can't talk about the UK being cooked. I think I had a video I saw about the UK. Nah, it's old. California. We're gonna talk about California and how bad it is, and basically everything we're paying for over here, like taxes wise, is just going to fraud essentially. And one of the guys running for governor, Fang's ex, is basically going to be doing the same thing already, and he's not even in office in California. Doesn't even live in California apparently. He's using somebody else's address. But we're looking for more of the same. Talking about Hassan wishing Iran was winning. Not 100% about that topic, but we are going to talk about Hassan. We are going to talk about his fall off. And also how, how he it seemed like he was kind of wishing that Iran was winning, which is kind of sad. Fraud is a big topic. We're going to talk about fraud. What's up, baby sunshine? Glad to see you here. Here's the thing, is you say Hassan is a doofus. I kind of wonder if he's out there just playing 5D chess, where he's no fool. He's not actually an idiot himself, but he is, just the ultimate grifter. Like, he probably doesn't buy the shit he's selling, and I think being a champagne socialist is the ultimate sign of that. But I really wonder if like he's like a Liz Lemon from 30 Rock, saying all these liberal things, and then when he goes to the voting booth, looks around and just votes for Trump a bunch of times. Like, that's who he really is. Yeah, that Nick Shirley California fraud was good. I think he's gonna drop another video about California fraud. I think Dr. Oz is doing more work. I think Los Angeles, especially that area, the valley, like we showed that small portion of Ventura Boulevard, and also that small portion of Sherman Way in Van Nuys. Anybody that's going around there, like I would commute on those areas. Anybody that's been around that knows there's no need for like Ventura and Sherman to have like 12 rug shops. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but it really looked like there was like 12 rug shops for a small like block, and it's like, this has all got to be fronts for money laundering. There's no reason that with one plaza, I think Dr. Oz went to it. I've been to that plaza because there's a little like Vietnamese boba shop and restaurant there. It's all these medical facilities, and you're like, you never see anybody going in and out of that. I think it's all an entire like a Ponzi scheme essentially, and it's gonna collapse. Like once you get rid of the Medicare fraud, the child care fraud, and all the other things that are around that in that certain community in California, Los Angeles, every single industry has been artificially propped up by it, meaning guy A gets money to serve the non-autistic, autistic people. He goes to the Audi dealership, buys a whole bunch of fancy cars, goes to the Chanel boutique at the fancy mall, buys expensive purses, goes to the grocery store, all the EBT fraud happening. Like everything's propped up by like government taxpayers. Taxpayers and government spending. Once you get rid of that, that entire economy collapses overnight, and then maybe finally Los Angeles is affordable. I feel like I'm on this side a bit much. How do I get it on? Come on, this way. Maybe like that. Alright, cool. Did you see, Decoy, you see the Tyler Oliveira video on Indian IT fraud in Texas uploaded yesterday? I'm gonna check it out today. I haven't seen it yet, but I do know that, people seem to like Texas Governor Greg Abbott. But honestly, like, from what I've seen, like, people think, oh, remember, during COVID, it was Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis. I forgot what other governor, possibly a Tennessee governor, and also Texas. They reopened during the COVID era, so like you could go to the grocery store and you can go to church and stuff like that. But Texas did it following Florida's lead. Governor Greg Abbott was jailing people for opening up their churches and their gyms, or maybe I'm getting a small aspect of that claim wrong, so I'm just saying look it up. But Florida isn't what you think it is, and Florida is like the capital of H-1B visas, I believe. Yeah, the H-1B visa map, I maybe saw an element of that video, but Texas isn't... There's parts of Texas that are entirely different countries now. It's kind of bad. Okay, you say Kristi Noem never shut down South Dakota to begin with, so it was Kristi Noem, South Dakota, and it was Florida staying open. And remember, the Democrats, the old mainstream media was yelling at Ron DeSantis in Florida. Oh my God, you're gonna end all these old people's lives. You have these crazy rates of people passing away. But if it wasn't for them reopening and rolling the dice with this was the most dangerous virus ever, I believe places like California, Washington, Oregon, they never would have reopened. We'd be still locked down till to this day if Ron DeSantis didn't have the... Is the word wherewithal? I don't know. But large word in the middle. The balls to reopen and then kind of show the world like, hey, look, everything's fine. And then you saw all these people like CNN, MSNBC actors saying Florida's so bad, but then going to party New Year's Eve over in Florida because, you know, they're the only place that was open. Yeah, shout out Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis is... I kind of feel like he's like a Rubio type. Like he'd be a very good operations manager for America. Good. I feel like VP is just kind of like a title, but he'd be a good president, moving things around, pulling the levers, but he just was not good at campaigning. Those goddamn boots ended his campaign in the most pathetic fashion possible. And it's sad. It's like, you got good ideas. You do good things. But kind of being a little bit weak on like saying what you do for America made you look bad, and those boots just ended it. Yeah, we're doing live streams. Yeah, shout out Ron DeSantis' boots. And I come here as a fan of Ron DeSantis. Like, what was that bridge that went down? Was it a hurricane or something? Bridge goes down. He shows America, this is how fast you can rebuild a fucking bridge. Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah, Florida seems good. I just don't know about living in Florida. Possibly Tennessee. I got a friend that moved over to Tennessee not too long ago. Seems to really like it over there. Enjoys his freedom. Texas seems like a good option. I've heard good things. Like, I know there's a big streamer space. I believe it's at Austin. But I don't know. Yeah, DeSantis kind of backstabbed Trump. He probably could have just waited 4 years more and probably would have been on the ticket for JD Vance, Marco Rubio, somewhere in the realm. But he's a good governor. Leave him there, you know, is what it is. What do you think about Donald's truck? I don't know what that's in reference to. Austin's a cesspool. I mean, here's the thing. I would say this about Los Angeles too, is recently I went to a Dodger game. We went out there to check it out. I'll post some stuff about it. The Yoshi bobblehead, it's nuts on how awful people are in stealing these bobbleheads, because I think they sell for like $300 right now online, and it's ridiculous. But people get misconstrued when you have a very liberal area, especially that it allows like ballot harvesting. I met so many fans that day of this channel, workers, other Dodger fans, of very people. Like, if you watch me, I'm guessing you're gonna be a bit conservative. You'll be a bit Republican. When I used to work in LA, there'd be people that like watched the channel and would say, "Oh yeah, like, thanks for saying all the things you're saying." They would never admit in our very liberal workplace that they are fans of, you know, Donald Trump. They're MAGA American types. But yeah, at the Dodger game, where you see all the protesters and all the activists, and you would think that this is all very like a Jimmy Kimmel-esque audience. No, Dodger fans by and large are very, very make America great again. And I would say, of the 10 people I saw that day, 9 of them were Hispanic, Latino, and they were very big fans of me and all my coverage of like supporting ICE and wanting taxation to go down. Like, they want to make you think these blue areas like Austin and Los Angeles are like 9-1 liberal to Democrat, but honestly it's more like 1-1, I would think. And also, I would also say that it's mainly ballot harvesting and just low information voters that are supporting that type of stuff. We just call Coors Field East LA. I don't know what that is. Dodgers Jays at 7 p.m. Yeah, it's gonna be what is it? Sheehan, I think, is pitching. We'll see. But I mean, we'll be good. We'll be able to end this live stream by the time the game goes on. But yeah, no, going to LA, terrible. We're gonna talk about California in today's live stream. That bridge, that amazing, what is it, $1 billion bridge? I forget how much that thing cost. You see it in commercials. Every car commercial shot in LA uses that bridge, but it's sad on how much graffiti's on it, how much painted over graffiti, and the graffiti over the painted over parts are there. And then also how it just doesn't light up anymore. Like, I've heard in Los Angeles that they've told them, we're going to replace the copper piping with aluminum wires, so a little more expensive, and we're going to pay for it by raising the property taxes of your law-abiding people that aren't stealing copper pipes or copper wires. And it's like, wait, so either you can jail forever. I'm talking about if you see someone stealing public property, infrastructure, copper wires, or you see somebody opening up a fire hydrant and filling up bins of water, you throw them in jail for life. Sounds harsh, but unless you want to live in a society where you have to say, you know what, the taxpayers, you're already getting taxed higher than most everybody in the country. Let's go ahead and open up your increase your income taxes or your property taxes so you can pay for the sins of the useless people that are getting propped up with your Obama phone, with your EBT cards, with your free syringes, with your free beers for whatever reason. No, you throw them in jail forever. They're never going to be a net positive to the planet. Get rid of them forever. Like, that's my opinion. Robleski? Okay, yeah, Robleski, not Sheehan. Okay, so yeah, there we go. Cali Estate that's going nowhere. Honestly, I think if see, everything got turned around. Like, we got my G.I. Jeff Dye poster behind me here. I bought the Spencer Pratt for Mayor thing, but it's behind me. He's got like a free crystal necklace with every item you purchase. So it's like, if LA can vote in Spencer Pratt for mayor, and they can get in a Chad Bianco, possibly Steve Hilton, don't know enough about him, but if they can get conservative leadership top to bottom, Congress does their job in DC, passes the SAVE Act, Trump bans mail-in balloting, you get Republican leadership in California, maybe stuff starts to bounce back. He's saying Dodgers are trash, MLB is a joke. How many max contract players can you collect? I don't know. Yankees can collect a lot of people. The Mets can collect a lot of people. Doesn't matter. Like you saw with the World Baseball Classic showed you. You can have all the stars in the world, but if you can't put together a winning mentality, spending all the money in the world doesn't solve your issues. And sad to say, it's not the Dodgers' fault that the Angels refuse to spend money and try to win. The Dodgers are just utilizing the system that's ahead of them. Every other fan base doesn't need to be mad at the Dodgers. They need to be mad at ownership that doesn't care about winning, that doesn't care about providing an entertaining product. They just want to be a billionaire that owns like a sports franchise. Kind of get it, but I mean, you're blaming the wrong person with that. And also, dynasties get interest. The NBA's done because they just give you fake, like Giannis. Giannis is allowed to travel. Wemby allowed to travel. When you had the Warriors, they were trying to make them the star with Steph Curry. So they let They let Draymond Green set moving screens every day. They let who was that Euro player? They would let him just step in your landing space in the NBA. Like they wanted to help boost a star by not calling fouls for them, and then it just became a woke nonsense garbage product. The baseball turned around and say, let's add a pitch clock. Let's let a dynasty be a dynasty. That's why they're the number one sport right now. Zaza Pachulia, yes, that was him. They just let anybody become a star. Like I feel like the Celtics. I am a Celtics fan. I just think that Jaylen Brown is kind of dumb, but Jason Tatum isn't a superstar. He doesn't have the off-court personality to become a star, so they became champions despite what the NBA would like. The NBA doesn't want more Celtics championships. The NBA wants to have a foreign face of the NBA to replace LeBron and replace Curry. So they're going to try to artificially inflate Giannis, Wemby, or Luka because they want it to be a worldwide sport, but honestly, it doesn't work like that, guys. How are you a Celtics fan in LA? Because LA Laker fans are garbage. I like going to Clipper games, especially when it was cheap. Like when I lived there and I was close by the stadium, Baron Davis, Elton Brand, then Baron Davis years, and then a little bit of the Blake Griffin years. Those are cheap games. Like I could be a regular hourly worker and sit pretty close to not courtside, but in that next section, I could sit pretty close to the games and watch NBA basketball. So it's like Clippers suck. I was a big KG fan. He spent his off seasons in Malibu. So if you went to the beach in the morning, you'd see him every now and then. KG was awesome. Timberwolves are garbage when he gets to the Celtics. KG, Rondo, Pierce, Englewood, Hero, they're a good team. You were told LeBron was better than Jordan, you laughed in their face. I mean, it's always going to be whatever era you grew up in. So if you were in the Kobe years, you were in the LeBron years, you're in the Jordan years, that's what you saw as the best, I think. Right now, I think the kids, especially when you go to 24 Hour Fitness, you go to LA Fitness, these are the Curry years. Those kids jacking up threes from 10 feet away from the three-point line. It's just garbage. Not a fan of Ray Allen, man. I don't like Ray Allen because what he had to do when he went to the Heat. Yeah, Wolves are trash. You're a fan. I mean, I remember playing, I think it was NBA Live 2004, where you had the Timberwolves, KG, Sam Cassell, Latrell Sprewell, Michael Olowokandi. You had Fred Hoiberg coming off the bench. It was a garbage team, but it was a fun team. Yeah, well, here's the thing: is Jordan was better than Kobe because I feel like how many people aspire to be Jordan versus how many people aspire to be Kobe. I think there's more people right now that kind of aspire to be Curry than Kobe. Going to the days when a blue-collar dad can take his son to a game by saving up a month or so. Ticket prices are sad. NBA, yes, but honestly, at least with baseball, if you don't mind being up in the rafters, everybody can afford a baseball game. especially if you kind of live in like Southern California, you don't mind traveling, you can go to an expensive Dodger game, or you can go to Angel game, dirt cheap, go to Padres game, a little bit more expensive, but we got options. No Jesus Shuttlesworth. No, I'm not a fan of Ray Allen. I don't think you don't respect a Kevin Durant going to the team that beat him. You don't respect a Ray Allen going to the team that beat him. I respect ring chasing if you don't have it, but he had it. I don't know. What do you think about MLB using AI umpire? They're saying the ump will call whenever the AI calls unless challenged. Takes 10 minutes off the game. 100%. I think it's all going to AI, and I think that's better. Like anybody that's like a homer saying, but the human error is part of the game. It's like, no, I don't think that's part of the game. Like, if you think that, if you want to go back to original baseball, I'm talking about without the pitch clock, setting up, taking a swing, then every single pitch they stop, they adjust their cup, they look, they adjust their gloves, they adjust their elbow pad, mess around with their junk a little more, they step in the plate, maybe they step out again. Like every single at bat, like games used to be hours and hours and hours long. Extra innings didn't start the guy on second. Like, I forgot what game was I watching. It was a Dodgers playoff game, but it was before Ohtani got there, so I was more of an Ohtani fan, an Angel fan. So we watched maybe the 11th inning, and we're like, okay, you know, we're getting bored of this. So we were able to go out, go to a Mexican restaurant, sit down meal, come back. The Dodger game was still on the television because it was just at a snail's pace. Now, Japanese baseball, I think it's the Nippon Professional Baseball, MPB, NBP, whatever it is. Japanese baseball doesn't want to give the slow, they don't want to speed up the game for television because I guess it's about the in-person fan experience. I think there's the beer girls with the backpack of beer. They serve people alcohol while they're walking around. They got the cheerleaders. They got the mascots. They have more of an experience for in-person viewing. I get that. But all of, what is it? What's Japan? Like the size of California? If the entire league was in California, you can travel around. It makes sense. But with us being Canada and America, this giant country, you're not really able to see games in person. It's more of a television-based sport. We're never going to do that. It's a whole day over there. I'm not surprised. You say Japan's the size of the East Coast, but California is basically, what is it, like over half of the West Coast. So yeah. You're at a Mets game with Piazza, got nailed in the head. Yeah, let's see. I feel like hold on, this thing is lagged out. Let me try to reset this and we'll get into the first topic today. Nomo was not underrated pitcher. Nomo was like maybe I knew about baseball like towards the end of his career, but yeah, Nomo was like a legend. I was gone for a minute. Yeah, I think. Well, no, I wasn't gone for a minute. I just we multi-streamed on the wrong software. I thought I could be on all the platforms, but no, we got to be on Restream. It's a little bit lagged out, me and chat, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, Yankees fans travel all along the East Coast to watch games. I think that I've seen people at Dodger games that make a day out of it. Like they're there from far away. They're not just like, oh, it's only LA fans that go there. And I do remember at Angel games when Ohtani was there, it was like a large percentage of them were Japanese fans. So they were flying out from Hawaii, flying out from Japan just to see Ohtani one day. AI says Japan's slightly smaller than California. Exactly. So if the entire league was California, then it'd be more you can make your league more based on like in-person viewership. Yeah, we're on Twitch now. We got a few people on Twitch. You got most everybody on YouTube. What is it? Oh yeah, so you're in Sacramento. You travel to Dodger Stadium, so that's like a 5-hour journey. But I mean, Dodger Stadium is nice. I just hate the parking lot. Wow, we left when we went to the Yoshi bobblehead night. I think we left in the 7th and still got caught up in massive traffic of everybody that's not following any traffic laws whatsoever. It was very annoying. Hideo Nomo was the guy that had a 30-second windup. I don't know if it was 30 seconds, but he was a guy that like you reached all the way around this way. It's like the tornado pitch. It was crazy. You're in Sacramento and you support the A's. I mean, get ready to learn Vegas. Yeah. Oh, thanks for following me over on Twitch too. Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to be on different platforms. Give Twitch the opportunity to show us that they're not exclusively the dog shocking channel. Maybe they can give the channel like this a shot, and then we can figure it out. So let's get into the first topic today. But let me adjust this chair. Leaving any sports game is a hassle. I mean, I would say some places. I'm on a boba chair right now. That makes sense. There you go. Some places have it better. I would say Angel Stadium's a little bit better as far as traffic. The Padres Petco Park is better because there's a lot to do around it. I know the Celtics Stadium, or not stadium, the Celtics, the TD Garden. Since there's lots to do there, you don't have to like hop in your car and go away. Like if you're at Dodger Stadium after a game, if you have to use your restroom, you're easily a half an hour to 45 minutes away from anywhere where you can go do that. So it's like there's nothing to do around Dodger Stadium, unfortunately. A Stadium be the old Tropicana site's going to be amazing. Epic location. I mean, the heat in Vegas, I don't know if that's going to do well. So yeah, if you guys haven't already, make sure you're subscribed over on Decap Decoy. Let me change this. Yeah, follow me over on Decap Decoy. I think we're 86.2K. So I mean, I feel like this channel is gonna hit 100,000 subscribers in the near future, which would be pretty awesome. Oh yeah, and follow me over on Instagram as well. We got more of the updates over there. I gotta be more active. I gotta upload the stuff I took from Dodger Stadium and everything over there. Any teams based in Chicago? Yeah, there's like what, the White Sox, the Bulls, the Bears. Like what are we talking about? Oh wait, no, because the Bears are leaving Chicago, right? I forgot about that. Yeah. Is it? Depends on where you live in New York. It's all public transport to games, which makes it easier to leave. Yeah, exactly. Like if public transport can get cleaned over in California, in Los Angeles, then it'd be better. The Bears left, but are they still going to be the Chicago Bears? Are they going to be, what is going to be the team's name? Let me just look it up right now. I want to know. Chicago Bears new name. Oh, they're still going to be the Chicago Bears. It's going to be stupid like the Angels being the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, even though they're easily like an hour away from Anaheim. Mets games have great public transportation, yeah. But yeah, so we're going to talk about what's happening over in Iran because we have been striking them pretty heavily. Some people are saying World War III, some people saying small incursion, just a little bit more than what we saw in Venezuela. Oh, you can't hear that, but yeah, we've been striking Iran. We've also been striking their bridges. So Trump said they're going to start hitting essentially their civilian infrastructure. So their bridges, their power plants. Oh, crap, that's loud. Can't play too much of this right now, but then they're saying they've taken out, 50 of their senior Iranian leaders right now? It's crazy.
The president is boasting another mass assassination of Iranian leaders who gathered together. The president posted on Truth Social. Many of Iran's leaders who have led them poorly and unwisely are terminated.
What I don't get is how many times can they say, we're going to go after you guys, we're going to take out your leaders. Okay, took out a whole bunch of your leaders, you guys were together. So let's get 50 more of them, put them in a bunker all together, and then they can get taken out together again. Like, this doesn't seem to be a winning strategy. You're saying something big happening tomorrow. I mean, I feel like something big has happened every day because we got to talk about the pilots got left. Well, they got rescued now.
He posted it with a video of an airstrike at Cohen.
The power of fanaticism. You know what? That's probably it. They think they have a devout mission. Even if they're ended, they're going to be rewarded, which is kind of scary to go after forces that are like that.
sides with information from a Telegram channel that more than 50 senior Iranian officials were eliminated in a combined strike from Israeli and U.S. forces. Israel, it should be noted, denies participation in this one. The search continues for a weapons systems operator missing from a U.S. F-18E that was shot down Friday over southwestern Iran. That pilot was rescued. The mission to rescue the pilot came under enemy fire. 2 helicopters were damaged and some crew members were injured, but they landed safely. An A-10 Warthog was hit and crashed near the Strait of Hormuz. That pilot also rescued. An anchor on state-controlled TV in Iran put out a bounty on the missing airman, encouraging people to turn him over to police.
Residents of Koji Luye in Boyer Ahmed province, dear and honorable people, if you capture the enemy pilot or pilots alive and hand them over to the police, you will receive a precious prize.
A precious what? Why can't they come out and say what it is? Is it going to be like, oh, is the precious prize going to be 72 virgins in heaven? Or is it actually going to be monetary gain? Is it going to be land? Is it going to be a title? Like, what exactly would this be? Yeah, no, nobody knows.
The Israeli Defense Force, meantime, released a remarkable video of a missile launcher being taken out in
$10,000 US apparently. So basically, you would be going into harm's way. I'm pretty certain the F-15E, like if this is the Rio or the... It's not called a Rio anymore. It's not a rear instrument operator. It's called something else. But whatever it is, I think they're armed. Is it $60,000? Okay, $60,000 would be life-changing money. But the risk of being... you're going to be taking on Delta. You're going to be taking on Special Forces. Like, I don't think that anybody's equipped for this. $60,000... I feel like they say, we're going to give you $60,000, knowing they never had to pay up.
Western Iran. Israel says the strike thwarted plans to fire missiles at Israel. In the meantime, the Prime Minister of Israel says Israeli jets have started striking at the petrochemical industry inside of Iran.
Yeah, so they took down the airplane. A-10, no, wait, a second, this is unconfirmed, I think. They say A-10 Warthog went down, but also was the F-15 Eagle. Now, we had reports of, they say, traffic jams forming in southwestern Iran as civilians reportedly rushed to help the security forces capture the downed American pilot. Unconfirmed. We have no idea. This could be a traffic jam from literally anywhere. We don't know. Videos right here that I can't play because on live stream, they got some two-way tools. Apparently they're out there, the tribes are out there trying to find the missing pilot to maybe split the money. Yeah, the country's... the countries are in a bad way right now. But then you see this, the Iranian IRGC forces have met their maker when they got blown up. Obviously, they say the community notes over here are false. This is footage from operations in Afghanistan, 2009. So don't believe everything you see, including this. But what we are seeing is stuff like this, where they say they've been firing at their Black Hawk helicopters when they were searching for it. Now, we do see other people reporting this. You can hear the small arms fire on it. I don't think it can actually harm the Black Hawk helicopter, but what we can confirm is from the White House Twitter account, from Donald Trump's Truth Social account, saying, "We got him. My fellow Americans, over the past several hours, U.S. military pulled off a daring search and rescue operation to get one of our incredible crew member officers, a highly respected colonel." Wow, so we were actually sending a colonel? Like, wait. Isn't that like a step below, chat? Isn't that a step below general? Like, what was a colonel doing in an F-15 over there? You would think it would be... Is it different in the Navy? Like, I know captain in the Navy and Army are different, but all pilots are officers, so they'd be like a captain, right? Maybe like a... Yeah, Air Force, so maybe it's like... Air Force is different. Okay, so maybe it's different. I just don't understand. I'm like, that just seems like an awfully high rank to be a general's fly to. So maybe, okay, maybe you're getting a higher pay. You're getting 06 pay. But okay. My mistake. They say he's safe and sound. See, Trump put it on him. He was never truly alone because his commander-in-chief, because of me. You're never alone. Like, that's like someone saying you're never alone when you walk with Jesus. Like, you're never alone because you got Donald Trump in office. Wild take, but okay. His fellow warfighters coming monitoring his location for 24 hours. Colonels are pilots who routinely fire in combat, so he's okay. So he's getting paid. Yeah. Hey, he's a full bird. Trump was watching over him. Miraculous search and rescue operation comes in addition to a successful rescue of another brave pilot yesterday, which we did not confirm because we did not want to jeopardize a second rescue operation. See, this is the thing right now, is they said he was rescued, but somebody leaked out there in the mainstream media that they were missing. It's not the Rio, but the second pilot. That put them in danger because that made it so there was a bounty on his head of allegedly $60,000, and they were looking for him.
According to two senior U.S. officials and multiple well-placed sources in the region, the weapons systems officer, we're told, ejected along with the pilot when their F-15E Strike Eagle went down. They were flying and they were struck on Thursday night. There's been for the last 48 hours, there's been a manhunt for the weapons systems officer who used SEER training, survival, evasion, resistance, and escape training to evade capture. He hid on an elevated ridge after hiking away from the wreckage and put out an emergency beacon. But it took these last 2 days for the rescue teams to actually reach him because there were so many Iranians trying to also reach him.
Okay, so they actually legit sent people out there. Like, we don't know if that's obviously not right. This might be real footage. This might be real footage. But the simple fact that there was a bounty on his head. It took our special forces, what was it, 48 hours to get to him because there legit were people on the ground trying to fight. Yeah. This is all about nukes, no way. I mean, there's probably information that we don't know about. Like, I'm big on all the stuff coming out right now is going to be they're going to tell us about aliens in the near future. So I believe, like, they can keep something like that under wraps for, like, decades. They can obviously tell us, they can't tell us certain things about this war over there. So the best we can do is trust in Trump to do the right thing right now. A lot of people are losing faith, but I'm still going to hold on that at the end of his term, the economy is going to be better off us being attached to only domestic oil production and Venezuela, which will control, and Iran can be Europe and Asia's problem.
Iran had put out a reward for finding the American. I understand there was a massive firefight as well as a number of.
Oh, you're saying that he climbed up there with a broken leg? Yeah, they say massive firefight. They're definitely making a movie about this. The pilot's going to be played by Donald Trump too.
Had to be destroyed. We reported on Friday that 2 helicopters, as part of the rescue efforts, were hit, and some of the crew members on those rescue helicopters were injured. We also now know more details about the A-10 Warthog that crashed on Friday in Kuwait. It was part of the rescue mission. It was flying cover and firing suppressive cover to try and keep the crowds away, both from the wreckage as well as to protect the airman who was hiding in that what we now know was an elevated ridge. But right now we are told that a lot of the details will not be coming out because it was such a complex mission. And
so did we kill civilians in this effort? I wouldn't be surprised. If they put a bounty and everybody in their family was going out there searching for him, being promised, what was it, 3-year salary over in Iran, I honestly wouldn't be surprised.
But we can report now that both the second crew member of that F-15E and all of the rescue teams are safely out of Iran. Rich?
So, legit sent people on the street after them, but like they said, Trump knows there's a leak, and I think they're trying to throw the book at him. They're going to give him prison time.
But these 2 extraordinary rescues, because it was 2, and as you probably know, we didn't talk about the first one for an hour, and then somebody leaked something, which we'll hopefully find that leaker. We're looking very hard to find that leaker, and talked about there's somebody missing. They basically said that we have one and there's somebody missing. Well, they didn't know there was somebody missing until this leaker gave the information.
So basically,
whoever
they're calling it treason, which I think that has some pretty hefty penalties coming down the pipeline. But also, they really put a lot of our special forces operations, probably that Warthog, they put everybody's lives in danger because they're chasing a lead. Like, honestly, oh, thanks for the Prime sub. I honestly kind of feel like, especially, I'm not news, but we talk about stuff. I'm like, I always feel like whatever I come across, as long as I'm behind the pace car of who's reporting on it, you're safe. And I really wonder who got the story in DC or wherever it may be and just had to break the news. Were they just chasing a story and trying to be the first to the story to get all the clicks? Or were they actually trying to assist our enemies? Yeah, they're being charged with treason. Yeah, isn't it freedom of speech, but not classified information that puts us, like our soldiers, in danger?
We think we'll be able to find it out because we're going to go to the media company that released it, and we're going to say, national security, give it up or go to jail. And we know who, and you know who.
Yeah, that's what it is. So it's like the journalists can be giving the information out. That's fine. But they need to say who gave you that, because it was somebody receiving classified information and giving it to journalists, because as we know in our military right now, there's a lot of people in there that, you know, don't like Trump so much, they'd rather put our soldiers on the ground in danger to thwart his efforts, to make him look bad. So whoever it was, we want that person. I don't have an issue with that.
We're talking about, because some things you can't do, because when they did that, all of a sudden, the entire country of Iran knew that there was a pilot that was somewhere on their land.
Yeah.
That was fighting for his life. And it also made it much more difficult for the pilots and for the people going in to search for him. All of a sudden, they know that there's somebody out there. They see all these planes coming in. It became a much more difficult operation because a leaker leaked that we have one, we've rescued one, but there's another one out there that we're trying to get. So actually, the country, Iran, put out a major notice, you all saw it, offering a very big award for anybody that captures the pilot. So in addition to a hostile, very talented, very good, very evil military, we had millions of people trying to get an award. So when you add that to it, but we have to find that leaker because that's a sick person. Probably didn't realize the extent of how bad it was. I can't imagine.
I'm guessing the journalists didn't know the extent of it, saying, oh, I heard from my sources, so I went out there and said, hey, look, they're still looking for one more pilot. The entire U.S. mainstream media reports on it, like all the live streamers talk about it too, not knowing that it's in jeopardizing their rescue efforts, which I get that, but honestly, you gotta figure out who inside DC, who inside our military is talking to the press, and why. Is it because you're friends with somebody in the press? Okay, you accidentally slip, it's like a slip of the tongue, or you're actually trying to assist our adversaries?
That the person did, but we're going to find out. It's national security, and the person that did the story will go to jail if he doesn't say, and that doesn't last long, and I think everybody would understand it. They put this mission at great risk. They put that man at great risk, and they put the hundreds of people that went in looking for him, because everyone now knows that we're going in.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with this. Some people saying, oh, it's freedom of speech and stuff, but it's like, no, like I think someone in chat said, if it's a leakers in the military, it's treason, not whistleblowing. Whistleblowing laws don't apply to that. Yeah, when you have classified clearance, it's not necessarily whistleblowing to give up that type of information. Like that is a wee bit different. But the crazy part about this is they say around finding the F-15's pilot's underwear has been the best marketing American Eagle could have dreamed of. They've sold out of them, so I don't know why they're blurring out their faces. Are there people? I don't know, but yeah. So apparently that underwear they found is sold out. Now, when I looked to confirm if did they really sell out of underwear, it looks like it was just that specific underwear there. But I just wanted to point out, in what bizarre world right now do we have that I can DoorDash underwear to my home? Like, is that why they hate us? I don't know. Yeah, they rescued both of them. We're safe. He went from Air Force pilot to Air Force commando in more ways than one, Calmer Shadow. Thank you. Yeah, they rescued him. They got both of them. Hopefully they find whoever leaked inside our military to our enemies that we're still looking for the guy, and there's going to be special operations to find him. Yeah, it's classic. They found the guy, but now Trump is reporting the war has been won. Again, is this another George Bush mission accomplished premature reporting?
We've won this. This war is.
Oh.
We've won this. This war has been won. The only one that likes to keep it going is the fake news. I mean, the New York Times, you read the New York Times, it's like we're not winning a war where they have no Navy and they have no Air Force and they have no nothing. And we literally have planes flying over Tehran and other parts of their country.
See, what I don't understand is, in the very beginning, they said, we've sunk all their ships. The Iran no longer has a navy. And then we hear, oh, wait, we sunk their subs. Oh, we sunk their ships again. Like, am I missing something? I said the Air Force and Navy are gone. But how many times are we going to hear the Air Force and Navy have been gone? Yeah, they say war with Iran was inevitable and an eventuality. Delaying it only makes it worse and harder to win. I agree with that. But also, you know, is your Monday morning quarterback. It's like, it's a good thing if this lasts a month. If we're there for years, if Trump's presidency, if they're campaigning the next Republican president and we're still there, boots on the ground, or even bombing them, Republicans aren't going to win the next election. Okay, wait. I'll cover all the super chats at the end, but Dr. John Zoidberg said, $20 super chat. I was a missile tech for submarines during the Obama era. I had top secret and secret clearance. You don't discuss things and it's need to know. NCIS catch sailors and soldiers trying to sell secrets for like $500 all the time. How does $500? You run the risk of doing jail time, prison time, for basically forever. And $500 is enough? Like, I have a person, I'm just gonna say I know a person, straight up, around the base, around the facilities, they're like, don't go on Tinder. You'll go on Tinder and see these Eastern European, Asian, knockout, 10 out of 10s. They're legit there to try to find guys that have top secret clearance. And I'm like, that sounds like something from out of a James Bond movie. But it's like, no. This is a real thing. Trying to sell state secrets for either, like, what is it, to James O'Keefe on a Tinder date. It's so dumb. But I mean, to also foreign forces or for $500. Like, yeah, they're that down bad. But rule of thumb, even just being a podcaster or whatever, it's like, if you are dating out of your league, it's James O'Keefe. Like, if you're dating way out of your league, it's a foreign, like a spy. Like, you just, yeah, honeypots still work. It's very sad. That's what it is. We got sidetracked, guys.
They can't do a thing about it. For instance, if I want to take down that power plant, that very big, powerful power plant, they can't do a thing about it.
They can't, but then do we want to get there? I understand it's a bargaining chip. The press asks the Department of War Secretary, are we going to go boots on the ground? It's like, we're not going to tell you guys, the media. We're not going to tell our enemies how far we're willing to go. We're going to keep everything in place. So I get that. You might deploy 10,000 or 100,000 soldiers just to be in the area. It's almost like a bluff. Like, we don't want to, but we can. We don't want to destroy their civilian infrastructure, but we can. Like, if we check out their, the water desalination facilities, that's going to cause a lot of harm to civilians. We don't want to do that, but I get the art of war. We want to put it on the table. Everybody's talking about the money on taking over that the Karg Island. I hope not. Like, I obviously I'm no specialist, but watching Cappy Army saying, yeah, we can take it over, but we can't hold it. It's just gonna be a prolonged war. We're gonna get to it in a minute on this segment, but hopefully we back out and it's somebody else's problem in the very near future.
It's like, take me. That's all they can do. And yet, if you read the New York Times or if you watch ABC fake news or NBC fake news, you'd say it's a close battle. It's not a close battle. We've won this with
And
this
it's,
war.
it's everything's anti-Trump. Even if it's going to be good for us, the media will say it's bad. And when they say things like, "Oh, Hillary Clinton has a 99% chance to win the election. Kamala Harris is surging through the polls." It's like, yeah, we don't trust anything you have to say because your agenda isn't truth. The agenda is anti-Trump propaganda, no matter what. Even if it is American soldiers, boots on the ground, or us being in a World War III, or maybe like an intermission World War, like World War Tokyo Drift, or whatever it may be. They want us to look bad just because it makes Trump look bad. But then he's over here, I don't listen to critics.
You called the Iranians crazy bastards.
True.
What is your response to critics who say that...
I don't care about critics.
What is your... Yesterday in your Truth Social, you called the Iranians crazy bastards.
True.
True.
What is your response to critics who say that...
I don't care about critics.
What is your response to...
And this is why we elected him. This is why we like him, because he's not playing politics. I think Newsome, Kamala, even Ron DeSantis wouldn't be this off the cuff based like, yeah, they're crazy bastards because they are. That's I call it how it is. I'm not trying to impress you guys, because no matter what, you're gonna hate me. So as long, might as well just be hated on my terms, and I like that.
Critics who say that it is your mental health that should perhaps be examined as this war continues.
I haven't heard that. But if that's the case,
They're going after his mental health right now, but refuse to say anything about Biden's mental health. Again, it's just nonsense. There's a lot of things Trump is doing in this administration that I'm not a fan of. I mean, firing Pam Bondi seems like a good start right now, but overall, I'm happier with this than the alternative.
have more people like me, because our country was being ripped off on trade, on everything.
Yeah, even down to the tariffs. Like the media hates the fact that we're tariffing other countries, the countries that are in fact tariffing us. Like I keep on going back to Pierre Poilievre going on Joe Rogan after the election, after he lost everything. But just the simple fact that him saying, Donald Trump, take the tariffs off our country, unfair, blah, blah. While, meanwhile, they tariff the shit out of us. What? Like, they just want to be able to take advantage of weak American leadership. They want me and everybody in all the chats here to be the useful tax cattle for the rest of the universe to live off of. And it's sad. Yeah, Trump derangement syndrome, exactly.
For many years until I came along. So if that's the case, you're going to have more people.
Yesterday in your Truth Social...
Yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. I like this. Now, the one thing is, Iran's targeting Kuwait's energy facilities, allegedly, blowing those up, and then now Trump is saying we're going after their bridges.
We have a plan.
Oh, all the volume is messed up.
Because of the power of our military, where every bridge in Iran will be decimated by 12 o'clock tomorrow night.
And then it noted, I don't know if it's the official embassy, but the embassy says, don't give us until 12. Can you give us until 1? Which makes me almost think, hey, we got some stuff there. We're going to move it out. We're not going to comply with you guys. Well, give us time to move out all our valuables and then bomb it. I don't. Again, it's hard to say if this is a genuine account saying this.
Every power plant in Iran will be out of business, burning, exploding, and never to be used again. I mean, complete demolition.
And it's sad because there's plenty of Iranians in America that like him doing this, and plenty of Iranians over there that say, hey, look, if I get wiped out by this, we wanted this. We wanted Trump to take out the fanatical regime that's like a dictatorship over there. This seems like it's a proxy war. We're trying to harm Russia and China's access to their natural resources. So we're going to take out their entire infrastructure, harm the civilians over there to get at our real adversary, which is China. I don't like this, but if this is our exit from the area and saying, okay, look, we'll talk about it in a moment, but if this is our way to hand it off to say, okay, you know what, Europe, if you're going to be signing secret deals with them and also buying their resources on the black market, like remember, during the Russia's invasion of Ukraine, they're like, okay, we're no longer going to buy Russian oil. So Russia just sold that oil to India, and then Europe bought the oil from India. So they just made India, one of the BRICS nations, wealthy and still bought Russian oil. And now this right here is actually all the countries that are saying, we don't buy Iranian oil, and all of a sudden they're starved of oil. You guys are buying oil the entire time. This is just a handoff to the European Union. I don't like the way it's being done, but I'm a fan of that because why are we basically subsidizing their defense, subsidizing all the things they do so they can turn around and say, we don't like the way America does it, but we're going to appreciate every single time it's done.
By 12 o'clock, and it'll happen over a period of 4 hours if we wanted to. We don't want that to happen. We may even get involved with helping them rebuild their nation.
No, stop it. Get rid of USAID because it's rampant with fraud. It's not USAID, it was United States. Somebody tell me what USAID meant. It was like influence of democracy or something random like that. Someone in chat's gonna know. But it was just ripe with fraud. It's like, okay, we want to make sure other countries love America, so we'll have USAID and finance things over there. Then it just became rampant. Like, oh, we want to give lesbian dance theory to Afghanistan, so here's $10 million. Very, very small in the grand scheme of the $1 trillion budget we have. Yeah, U.S. international development. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care about assistance and agency for international development. I don't want to rebuild other countries. I want not America first. I want America only. If we are deficit spending, you cut off all the mooches, top to bottom. I don't care. I don't even care if it's SNAP benefits, EBT benefits, stateside. Replace that shit with Nutraloaf. And Nutraloaf is what is it? It's like a amalgamation of just the protein and macros you need to survive on. It's disgusting. But if SNAP is supplemental nutrition assistance tea, I don't know, whatever it is, but it's a program. If it's just about making certain that Americans don't starve, stop buying them soda pop, stop buying them candy, stop buying them popsicles. I want everybody to eat delicious treats, but you got to work for that. No more Walmart holes of people on EBT that are living more lavishly than minimum wage American workers. Get rid of all that locally, get rid of all that internationally, just pay for Americans, help us. None of this, oh, we're gonna bomb them, then we're gonna rebuild them so they like us more. No. Every time we do that, you leave behind an element that hates America and they become violent towards us. Stop it.
If that's the case, the last thing we want to do is start with power plants, which are among the most expensive thing, and bridges. You saw the bridge one. We were very close to a deal. And then I got a call from Mr. Witkoff, Mr. Kushner, and JD saying, I think they're breaking the deal. I said, tell them that's okay, don't worry about it. But tell them to look out their window and watch. And within 45 minutes, I gave the order to knock out the biggest bridge. I gave the order to knock out the biggest bridge in, I believe, the Middle East, but the biggest bridge in Iran. And within 10 minutes after I gave that order, that bridge was over. So do I want to do that? No. Do I want to destroy their infrastructure? No. It will take them 100 years to rebuild.
Making hard choices. I somewhat get it. I always criticize people say, I want law and order, but when you arrest somebody, they scream and they shout and say, my baby, or whatever, you're hurting me, oh, I can't breathe, or whatever. Like, when they're arresting, so whenever someone's getting detained or getting sentenced, it always looks painful. It sucks. You want to have compassion and empathy, but it's a tough pill to swallow. It's the necessary evil to have a law-abiding society, a high-trust society. We don't want to see this stuff happen internationally. I have no background experience as commander-in-chief. I understand he's doing this, doesn't want to do it, but it is the tough pill to swallow.
Right now, if we left today, it would take them 20 years to rebuild their country, and it would never be as good as it was. And the only way they're going to be able to rebuild their country is to utilize the genius of the United States of America.
And you know what? I do like that. Cut off everybody from the resources. If you hate America, like I always sound like the South Park rendition of conservative. You don't like America, then get out. It's like, but I believe in that. Like, you hate this place so much. Like, who is it? One of the Ayatollahs, I think it's his wife and his daughter are in America on, like, what was it? Was it a visa? A guest visa? I forgot what it was. But she's there. posing in, like, first she's posing in a keffiyeh, and then she's posing in a bikini, and they're straight up advocating on behalf of terror. Oh, she was on a green card, okay. Advocating on behalf of terror, and they were hating America, enjoying all the benefits of American capitalism, but trying to dismantle it simultaneously. So I think it was Rubio said, no, we canceled the green cards. We sent them away. Yeah, get rid of them. I'm even talking about Hassan, like naturalized citizen, or no, maybe he's not naturalized citizen. Maybe he is the anchor baby. I forget. Don't care enough about him. But what's all with this, like, you hate America, you want it to be gone so bad? Like, even when Biden was in office, I said, I hope he does well. I will criticize his mistakes. I criticize Trump's mistakes. But I don't despise America. I always say that about, like, something stupid like the Celtics. I'm a Boston Celtics fan. I don't like LeBron James. But if LeBron James signed on the Celtics, I hope he does good. I'm still a Celtics fan, regardless if I don't like a certain aspect of who's on our team. I want the team to win. Still Team America. Biden's in office. I want him to do well. I don't want harm to happen to him. And when he gets sick, I want him to have a healthy recovery, even if I despise most of what he does politically. It's not that hard to be a good person. But it's crazy how many people that despise America, want our downfall, will sell our secrets to foreign forces, and want soldiers that protect our freedoms to perish in battle. Get rid of those people. Get rid of them entirely. Yeah, Team America. I'm Team America. Now, we're seeing this happen everywhere. Gasoline prices out the roof. You're seeing this. I think when I was in LA, I saw like $8 gasoline, like regular unleaded. Like, gas prices are out the roof. People are upset, but again, in California, gas prices are mainly to blame. Newsom, the taxes, the tariffs, the more expensive, cleaner burning blends they have over here, the shutting down of facilities. It's mainly self-imposed. But they say if we want to get to gasoline prices down, just leave Iran. I'm a fan of that.
Nuclear weapon at us in 6
Of course,
months.
but Americans are feeling the effects in the interim.
And they're also feeling a lot safer.
What is the plan to bring them back down?
All I have to do is leave Iran, and we'll be doing that very soon. And they'll become tumbling down.
Again, I'm a fan of this if he genuinely does it. I have probably 50-50 confidence. I want it. I want us to be gone. I want him to be right. I want this to be successful. Do I believe that we actually will be gone within a week? It's wishful thinking.
And stock prices were up today almost to a record because they know two things. Number one, we have a safe country. We had to take a little detour because we had a madman named...
Okay, you're saying, what lies has Trump told? Tell me one. Not going to give you the brief synopsis of it, but just go back, watch Donald Trump's podcast appearance on the Joe Rogan episode of what he would do once he gets in office. Because it was when he was on the campaign trail not too long ago. Watch that. Just watch it. Don't report back to me. But watch it and you'll realize, oh yeah, you know what? He wanted to do a lot of things. We voted him in to do a lot of things. Those were not delivered upon.
Khomeini, who sadly is no longer with us. And we had regime change already. We've knocked out one regime, then we knocked out the second regime. Now we have a group of people that are very different. They're much more reasonable. I think much less radicalized. We have had regime change.
But didn't we bomb the regime, like the new guys too? Like, we just keep on cycling through them until they get someone that is more America compliant?
Dealing with people that are much more rational, and it's amazing what we've done.
Yeah.
We had to make a little detour. So when the stock market broke all records just a few weeks ago, when it hit 50,000 on the Dow, 7,000 on the S&P, I said to the American people, it's time that we have to make a little detour because we have a madman that wants a nuclear weapon. And if we didn't knock him out with a B-2 bomber, we would have a nuclear weapon right now. It would have been used before today. And you may not be standing there asking that question.
I think that the big eye-opening thing was when they sent a missile to take down American, was it a weapons facility south of Iran, which gave it the new radius of what they could attack, which was the UK, which is, I believe that. So the more important aspect of what's happening over there, I think, is us pulling out of NATO, pulling out of Europe, stop subsidizing. Europe would essentially hates us by and large. Stop subsidizing their safety so they can turn around and say, we're better than you. We provide healthcare. We provide this and services and asylum because they don't pay for their own security.
And I've been a big supporter of NATO. And one of the reasons why I've been a supporter of NATO is because I believe that these basing rights give us leverage and give us flexibility and operational capability all over the world. But if NATO is just about us defending Europe if they're attacked, but them denying us basing rights when we need them,
yes,
that's not a very good arrangement.
Marco Rubio's everything Mike Pence could have been if he wasn't a rhino.
That's a hard one to stay engaged in and say this is good for the United States. So all of them's going to have to be re-examined. All of it's going to have to be re-examined. And I've been a big supporter
so
of NATO.
we're going to leave that because the rumor is, could it be possible from Amuse? Could it be possible that Iran negotiated secret deals with France, Switzerland, Austria, Italy, and Spain to close their airspace to U.S. air traffic in exchange for safe passage of their ships through the Strait of Hormuz? Because you saw, I think the traffic out of the Strait of Hormuz was the highest it's ever been. Iran keeps on telling us we're not allowed to use it, but some ships are getting through. Suddenly, all these European countries are saying America can no longer send things off or send ships or even go through their airspace to attack Iran. So it's almost like they're siding with them, gaining access. Again, a rumor. They say, you're doubtful they'll betray the U.S. so brazenly, but that's what Mr. Bridgen is claiming exactly, where they say, not doing it on surface, but the only reason they would make these decisions is if they were in cahoots with Iran and their new regime. And it almost feels like, yeah, Marco Rubio is saying exactly what everybody's been thinking. Why support them if they're just going to work nefariously behind us? And I'm not saying America is innocent too. Like, what was it, the Nord Stream pipeline? Didn't that come out later on to be us? Did we do that in cahoots with another not popular country? But okay, it was such a long time ago and I didn't cover it that much. But yeah, NATO being fair weather allies, we don't need them. Especially if they're not going to help us in our time and when we need it. You join the Ukrainian war, yeah. It was either us or Russia did it themselves. Again, yeah, that'd be a good excuse. Somebody did it, but honestly, if they're going to turn around and undermine us every step of the way, by all means. Because let's be honest, the way their border has just been open and the way the liberal the Democrat, or yeah, whatever their version of the Democrats have taken over, they're very quickly going to be the same exact religion and leadership and fanaticism that is in the Middle East, except in Europe. Large parts of the capital, London, the UK, France, Spain, they're about to be the Middle East themselves. So why do we need to assist them in their protection if they hate us? Yeah, not a true ally. Exactly. Oh, I forgot who it was. Was it somebody on Tucker? I forgot who was talking about. They're saying, forget over there. Our true ally needs to be. We need to not try to dictate Venezuelan oil. We need to. I'm sorry, not dictate Iranian oil. Try to dictate Venezuelan oil. We already give them the infrastructure to I forgot what it is. Manufacture, purify, whatever. Their crude oil is much more crude than other places. We already know how to make it useful. Get the manufacturing from Venezuela up and running. Get our allies to the north. Make Canada on our side. Stop letting China come over there and dictate them. I think Alberta just voted on secession from the rest of Canada. So it's like we take Alberta, we take the entire west coast of Canada, attach us to Alaska. I mean, seems like a pretty good trade. We need to get Canada on our side. Just get the Western Hemisphere back under our influence, and maybe that's all we got to do. The UK responds like this after the US didn't need it on air support. Exactly, yep. They're voting in October? Yeah, the 51st state? No, here's the thing. No more states. 50 states, good enough. If you want to be a territory like a Puerto Rico, by all means. Non-voting territory. I don't even know why we have Congress people from Puerto Rico. They're non-voting, but they're over here representing Puerto Rico. Give Alberta territory status, give Venezuela territory status, put them underneath our umbrella. Their citizens can get kind of like in the European Union, they can travel here. They don't need to have like a reason they're part of the country, but don't give them voting privileges because, like they say, if you ever allow the bottom 51% of the population to vote the top 49% of the population's money, you've lost democracy. Doesn't work that way. I want Alberta to be its own thing. That's fine, but also we need to start influencing our side of the hemisphere, I think. Yeah, Trump is the best U.S. president we've had by far. He is not a perfect man. Again, like, the left, once they decide Biden's our de facto leader, he can do no wrong. Once they say she's an idiot, she sounds like she's zonked up on pharmaceuticals, she hasn't done anything as vice president. But once she becomes the de facto leader, the entire party gets behind her. They throw her campaign events in Atlanta saying she's the first African-American woman to run for president. Literally said that. She's the first African-American to run for president. I'm sorry, India and the Caribbean have nothing to do with Africa, but by all means, that's what they're telling their voters. They were dancing on stage with, I believe it was the ex-stripper rapper. Maybe she's not an ex-stripper, but I think it was the ex-stripper rapper going on stage saying, body yaddy 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 yaddy. That was her campaign for Kamala. She could do no wrong. Don't be like the left. We can criticize Trump and still say he's the best Republican president, or best president we've had in a very long time. Yeah, her dad may be black. It doesn't make her African American. Like, they don't understand that. Like, Elon Musk is more African American than Kamala Harris. But the idiots on the left couldn't differentiate on how black isn't African American. Like, what is it? Dominicans. When Dominicans or New York, you see them as black. Like, they're black Americans. But they're not African Americans. They're Dominicans. It's something entirely different. Yeah, because they're not Hispanic, they're Latino. But so many of them can't figure, like, their racism just paints us all the same. Like, oh, well, you're Korean, but you're also Chinese, right? Like, Kamala is Indian. She was always campaigned on being Indian and Asian. She's been Asian the entire time until it became time for her to run for president. They could have said just black, but they didn't. They tried to, they made it different. Yeah, she washed her collard greens in a bathtub. She celebrated Kwanzaa, which I think somebody actually drilled down the numbers. Due to her age, they physically could not have celebrated Kwanzaa when she was a kid. And they had that photoshopped image of her in a McDonald's uniform. It'd be one thing if some fan photoshopped the image of her working at McDonald's. But then she went out there and said, "Oh yeah, that's me. I worked at McDonald's," and it's like, fuck, like you gifted Donald Trump one of the best moments of his election. Like, his campaign trail was going to McDonald's to say, "I worked at McDonald's longer than her," and that became a big thing when he's like waving outside the window, getting shot in the ear, his mugshot, and I feel like there was one more image, 4 images of Trump's campaign. Maybe it was him and Elon Musk. But the big moments of Trump's campaign were basically gifted to him by Democrats. They just couldn't stop shooting themselves in the foot. The garbage truck thing. Yeah, there you go. The garbage truck thing. Yep, garbage truck. Garbage truck, McDonald's, his ear, and now I'm forgetting it. Earshot, the mugshot. Yeah, exactly. God, what that even looked like? Oh yeah, it is Trump in the garbage truck. Yeah, that was a big thing. Yes. Yeah. She can't beat Trump. Nobody can beat Trump. You said when he got shot solidified the whole thing. I even have a very, very, very like Democrat by default guy, like legitimately replaced, very, very staunchly Christian. Essentially, if the Democrats conflict with what Christianity tells him, he sides with the Democrats. It's like Biden has become their Jesus. It was a very weird thing. But basically, when he saw Trump get shot in the air, he was like, oh, yep, he won. He just won. The fight thing, nobody in human history will be ever gifted. Not gifted. It was a tragedy because the one guy lost his life behind him. And also, he got shot. That's scary stuff. But you can't have a better political moment than that. That won him, yeah. Yeah, McDonald's rep released a statement saying it was a false claim that she never worked for it. I believe that. Oh, thanks for the Prime sub. Yeah, you were voting for him anyway, but that made it stone. I feel like it's solidified to a lot of middle-of-the-road people who he represented the American people and how much more stronger he was than Biden and Kamala. Yeah, people fall for anything. That's sad. Yeah. That's my McPresident? Yeah. Idiots on the left still claiming that he didn't get hit. Exactly. It's an inconvenient thing, so they're just going to pretend it isn't there. It's very sad. I'm not going to take a break. I'm just going to grab something. I'm kind of just want something to munch on right now. Give me like 1 minute. See, we're here. Wasn't that much. I got these things. Joe Rogan had talked about carnivore snacks. They're good. The slider is probably my least favorite. The crumbs and fat are better. But good God, this thing's expensive. I don't know if I'll buy it again. It's incredibly expensive, but a good, like, just protein-only snack. You guys could have. It's like jerky, but it's less preservatives, I guess. Whey protein? I mean, I don't have it here. I have a protein shake. Whey protein shake has been decent. The only thing that's giving me some hope right now is knowing Kamala, things would be 100 times worse. Exactly. Any updates on how New York's doing since Mamdani took office? Okay. That was going to be a little bit later, because we're going to talk about ICE stuff. But we can go ahead and talk about New York City right now. Because it is pretty nuts how bad New York City got so fast. We're not even a year into... Wait. Just over 4 months into Mamdanistan, and New York City's already gone insane. Like, car thieves in New York City spent early Easter morning trying to steal high-end vehicles from a garage beneath Sky Luxury apartment building. A McLaren was smashed on a sidewalk, a Range Rover trapped under a garage door. So you can't show that even though they're police, apparently, with their dog. Damaged cars are scattered across Hell's Kitchen. This is Mamdani's Manhattan. Exactly. You are expected to foot the bill. Top to bottom, New York City, for all his pet projects, all his DEI initiatives. But also, none of your wealth is protected. If you try to leave, they'll shame you. And if you try to stay, you'll get robbed. Like, not even luxury cars, like a Volvo. But yeah, the Range Rover is a luxury car. But here's the thing. So, New York City Mamdani announces he's hitting the wealthy with maximum taxes to convince others to stop leaving the city.
Of working and middle-class New Yorkers. So I don't have a hesitation in asking those who make the most amount of money in the city or the most profits in the city to pay a little bit more so that everyone can actually stay in the city. It's also something...
I think the sad part is, though, they say a little bit more, but they're already like 80% of the money that comes in. Most people over there are not net taxpayers, meaning to say they receive more in benefits than they pay out. And he's saying, I just need a little bit more out of you, even though you pay record-setting high amounts of taxes.
Pay a little bit more so that everyone can actually stay in this city. It's also something not just about justice or the ability for working class people to live here. It is also actually about ensuring that corporations can continue to attract the top talent to this city. Because in a city where childcare costs more than $20,000 a year, I've heard from corporate leaders about how difficult it is for them to attract individuals who would work at their companies but want to raise a family, because you could be making $300,000 a year and you will feel that $20,000 a year because of the fact that we have allowed for the absence of affordable childcare to become reality.
No. When they talk about affordable childcare, do they actually mean actual childcare, or just another facet for them to defraud you, to send money overseas to fund literal terror groups over there that hate us? Like, these things all sound good, but it's never implemented the way they sell it to you.
Here in the city. Amidst being in the wealthiest city in the wealthiest country.
Craziest part, we need more money from you guys, even though you're paying the majority. Stop moving over here. But I think they basically have admitted what their plan is, which is you or our tax cattle.
Is that if you go back before the 20th century, there were no income taxes, there were no regulations on business. You could earn as much money as you want, leave 100% of it to your children with no taxes. Right. That's the world they want back. And to get it back, they need society to change. They need people to be less modern. They need people to want fewer things. Is that if you go back before...
Communism. Look at all the shiny things I have. But you need to stop wanting to keep your money. No income tax, no regulation. Your family gets the fruits of your labor. No. The state owns what you give. Yeah. Here's the thing, you say Florida has no income tax. If Trump gets rid of federal income tax and makes up the difference with cutting federal and state programs, and then also having tariffs fund everything else we need in government, like the military, infrastructure, salaries of congressmen or whatever. If we can just put all that burden on other countries trying to do business with America and stop taxing the income of Americans, because we already pay it in sales tax, I think Republicans win 2028, no question. But they have to get that pushed through first. But yeah. What do you need to pay in to New York City in the meantime? Like, it's ridiculous that anybody would think, I'm getting robbed. The police are everywhere. I'm hearing calls to prayer at like 80 decibels, 6 in the morning, every single day. What are my priorities right now?
And while today's true cost of living measure confirms that the affordability crisis touches every corner of our city, we know that these effects are not applied evenly. So often, it is black and brown New Yorkers who are hit the hardest. This preliminary racial equity plan is the first step in developing a whole-of-government approach to tackling that reality.
How much is it going to cost them?
It is a plan that lays out these first steps to solve decades of neglect and discrimination, and it places the work of 45 city agencies within a singular framework. And while today's...
I like the idea of taking 45 agencies and putting them in one. Cut out 44 different bosses and just have the one boss. But does he mean giving less services? Or is it more services and putting another person on top of that? Let's make a new governing body over those other 45 bodies to make sure there's equity and diversity in them, charging you more money to accomplish less. because I'm guessing it's gonna just be an extra person over the top. Yeah. Places the work of 45 city agencies within a singular framework, but it's under racial equity. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work.
Plan was born during a defining moment in our city's history, when New Yorkers were in the streets in the midst of a global pandemic, calling for justice, demanding accountability, and bearing witness to brutality unfolding on our streets and on our screens. In that moment, our city was asked to reckon with the deep systemic inequities that have long shaped life here and to do better. New Yorkers across all 5 boroughs answered that call. Their voices, their advocacy, and their persistence are what brought us to this moment. The release of the preliminary citywide racial equity plan is a reflection of that collective mandate. It is not just a document, it is a commitment to confront institutional and systemic racism within our city. And
here's the thing, look at this right here. If there is institutional racism, this thing sucks. I think I like inhaled a crumb, but if there was very diverse. If there was institutional racism, none of you guys would be here. I think you being on the stage to say this is proof that you don't need this.
To begin the work of dismantling it. This plan was born during a defining moment in our city's history, when New Yorkers were in the streets in the midst of a global pandemic, calling for justice, demanding accountability, and bearing witness to brutality unfolding on our...
Yeah, it's nuts. It's getting worse. But the sad part is, remember, Mamdani... Mamdani ran campaigns and has now made speeches since he's won exclusively in other languages that weren't English. And now you're seeing over in Jersey, same thing.
हम देसी कम्युनिटी न्यू जर्सी के सबसे बड़े कम्युनिटीज में से एक हैं। मेरा नाम जय वांगनकर है और मैं जून 2 को कांग्रेस के लिए इलेक्शन लड़ रहा हूं। लेकिन
And the sad thing is, if you're campaigning in another language, you are not planning on representing Americans, in my opinion. I think you have if you campaign to foreigners, you are going to lead for foreigners and represent foreigners. It's very sad. Wasn't German? No, I think it's Indian, right? He says Desi voices. He's going to represent the Indians in what's I'm not gonna watch this whole thing in another language. New Jersey congressional candidate, but what city is this? I don't even know. No, I think it's Indian. I think he's speaking in Indian. The Chrome is winning? Kind of. Yeah, he's Indian, right? No, am I getting this wrong? There you go, now it's out. There's 400 languages in India? Okay, that makes sense, and yeah. Yeah, New York went from 70% white to what it is, 25% in 30 years. Urdu or Hindi makes sense. I think the ratios of who voted for Mamdani was like none of the like second or third generation New Yorkers. It was people that just got there recently. Same in London, yeah. He's Nigerian, I believe he is. Like, I don't think he can run for president, but the fact is he can be in New York City, one of the greatest American cities out there, and he can conveniently duck out of the literal terror attacks that are occurring against his officers and try to almost sheepishly ignore the fact that it's getting worse and worse because he wants to represent them. 48% immigration population in New York City elected Mamdani. Exactly, yep. And that's like, yeah, chicken voting for KFC. Exactly, because how many people that voted for Mamdani, or even campaigned for him in New York City, were the types of, let's push the LGBTQ narrative. Let's, women's rights are paramount, which are in direct, not non-compliance, direct, they're They're basically the antithesis of a certain religion. They are... I'm not dead set. They're 100% on board with importing millions of people from this specific, very, very traditional religion. They are not going to be compatible. There's a word. They're not compatible with modern day liberal values, and they're just chickens for KFC. Mamdani's from Uganda, not Nigeria. Okay, that makes sense. Democrats used to be anti-immigration, which is crazy because Democrats used to try to represent the working class American citizens, but now they thought it's actually easier to buy the votes of immigrants that we grant amnesty to. Here's free housing, here's free food, here's free social services, here's free money, just pocket money. It's easier to get them to vote for us forever than to get the downtrodden, struggling American working poor. Hard to keep them when you're also quoting an easier to get voting class, and they've pretty much sold out the American people for that. They will ban hot dogs from Yankee Stadium in 5 years. The sad part is I've seen them talk about how dogs are making certain jeez, that's still there in the back of my throat. They are trying to get you to feel uncomfortable bringing your dog in certain parts. I believe it's London. They say, oh, it's unclean, it's this, it's that, but they're not trying to ban them outright. They're trying to say, hey, look, Western society, ever since Paris Hilton brought her Chihuahua everywhere. Now it's just everywhere is expected to be dog friendly. Like I go to a coffee shop and there's just dogs inside of it. It's very bizarre. But now they're saying, you know what, just stop bringing your animals because some people are afraid of them. It's like, yeah, well, there's certain religions that we have lots of people here that get elected in office that are not a fan of your dog. And it's like, it's very, very incrementally. But I think Western values will erode if we import a new majority that is incompatible with the existing one. Well, that's the thing. It's like you see certain people in Europe where they will walk their dog around as almost a message, but then you see people walking their pet pig places, and that's a little more aggressive. But it's like people are getting upset. Yeah, so long as the animal's polite, you don't mind. It's like there are certain, like, you don't want to go by breed, but it's like you bring in your Shiba Inu, your Labrador Retriever, your Shih Tzu. Most of the time, it's not going to cause a problem inside your Starbucks. But someone brings in their large Pit Bull, their Doberman, their Great Dane. It's like, read the room, guys. Like, yeah, not all dogs are the same. Like, some of them are going to be more disruptive and more aggressive. Like, but especially the homeless population, they just want to do it because they can. Have you heard of the Assimilation Act decoy? That should help who's let in, but only if Democrats don't open the border again. Exactly, like, immigration is good. There's a lot of people that come in first generation that escape communism or socialism that are more American than Americans that are born and raised here. 7th generation citizen, but they go to a liberal arts college and they suddenly hate everything about America. Like, I'd rather have the first generation person that's entirely assimilated than the American liberal that literally cheers on Hamas. Zero dogs should be allowed in eateries and grocery stores. Exactly. Like, unless you're at a supermarkets only should allow service dogs, but somebody buy that stupid, like, this is my emotional support animal off Amazon. It's like, I can tell by your dog's behavior. It is not trained to be in a supermarket. Like, it should only be service animals that go through like a long, difficult training path. And also, it shouldn't just be, oh, you brought your dog where it doesn't belong, here's a small fine. It's like, no, you're bringing your pit bull, you're bringing your dog that's gonna bite a kid inside a grocery store and you just bought it a fake Amazon thing, 10 years jail. I don't care. We need to get high trust society back. Yeah, you're more conservative growing up in an actual communist country, but Democrats keep on telling you that's not real socialism. Exactly. That's the Hassan Piker way. Seeking a better life is not justification to be allowed in any country. Exactly. Like, what was the rule? Asylum claims can only be at the neighboring country. You cannot be a seeking asylum as a refugee and you came from Uganda. If you're crossing other countries to come to America or to go to Europe so you can get their welfare, social benefits, that's not asylum. All you have to do is come and make a story about escaping oppression and come in. And the scary part is like, it's easier to get your asylum claim if you're a kid. So many people come in here and say, you know what? I'm 16 years old, so you kind of look 35, but we have no way of determining your age. So by all means, come into America, come into Europe, and let's put you in high school. And that endangers everybody. But it happens more often than you think. Uganda hater, long time. I think you're even a mod here saying, stop using Uganda as a derogatory way. I thought you were the ultimate hater of Uganda, man. Yeah, Alien Gonzalez set the standard for this. Wasn't that under the Clinton administration? Might be getting that wrong, but it's like one Cuban immigrant getting here to be with family that freaked out the left for the longest time. Yeah, it must be nice being in a real country. Hassan talking about China. Yeah, he's nuts. You're a hater from Uganda. Okay, I get that. I could say that being from Korea, I could be a hater of Korea because their liberal values are going nuts right now. I think they're going to be the end of themselves. And then also, they jailed their previous conservative leader for saying this is China taking over the country. It almost seems like, of all the things that China does for promoting very, very liberal values on TikTok in their algorithm for America, but not necessarily for China's TikTok, or I forget what their version of TikTok is called. Whatever. But China's TikTok is very different than our TikTok. It almost seems like they're doing the same thing to Korea right now. They're making them very, very liberal. Not Redbook. They're making them very, very liberal. Meanwhile, keeping themselves conservative. Yeah, Douyin. Douyin. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Alright, let me grab a different snack that doesn't choke me. I'll be right back. Piker's imploding. I keep on saying it, like, you know, people made fun of me saying, oh, Hassan shocking his dog, that's his career, it's over, it's finally over. I'm like, no, I really mean that. I think him shocking his dog, lying about it, was legitimately the end of his career. Come by KO. Yeah, that was the, see, it would be nice to go viral on the internet as a live stream. We get all this attention, new subscribers, people aware, oh, Decoy Voice live streams and everything, but you never want to go viral for the wrong reasons. Like, let's say I legit, like, was eating the carnivore snacks. Like, this is pretty good, it's whatever. I eat it, I choke, and I just pass out, and I'm on live stream for like 6 hours, just pass out on my chair until I finally cough up the piece of meat. That that would be the wrong way to go viral. Decoy, you going on Fish Tank? No, I have zero connection with who is it? Sam Hyde and everything. No, I'm not going on there. I don't know them. When I get the carnivore snack, I've just got it off the website. You can't get it on Amazon or whatever. You say we would call 911 for you? No. Nobody knows where I'm at. I like it that way because you don't want to get like doxxed or whatever. But oh, what's up? What's up, donut operators, people? Sam does not know me. No, he might follow. I can check right now. I don't believe Sam Hyde knows who I am, which is like, you know, I have a following, but not a large following. No, he doesn't follow me on Twitter, which is fine. I should shock my treat bag. Yeah, exactly. Meme by Chrome, exactly. I don't want to become. Hey, it's like it's not like the funny voice Asian guy on there, the Asian guy with the hair or whatever. Like people are gonna know me for a thing. Like I'm sure chat will tell me, but you don't want to be like, hey, it's that guy that choked on live stream. Like you don't want that to be your thing. Use the old chair back trick to get you up. Yet I have to Heimlich myself on live stream. Yeah, exactly. I'm not this is a regular sized Dr. Pepper can, guys. I'm just like Kawhi Leonard. I'm a giant living in this world. No, I try to limit my soda intake. I love soda so much, and that's like a Dr. Pepper Zero, probably not the best for you, but honestly, that's what it is. The emotional damage guy, right? No, it's not me. You say, watch comedians in the 70s, 80s, comedians now are terrible. No, I'm still a big fan of, it's just not in the frame. It's a G.I. Jeff Dye. He tours a lot. If Jeff Dye is ever in your area performing live, I 100% recommend going and seeing him. Before it becomes too big, becomes real expensive, but one of his shows takes off and he doesn't have to tour anymore. So, no, Jeff Dye, really good comedian, awesome guy. Go see him live if you can. It's a miracle I survived that chip. It wasn't a chip, it was a piece of jerky. It's like, you know, it was the cows taking revenge on me because I've eaten a lot of burgers and steaks in my life, and one of them tried to end me. Soda will destroy your bone like a champ. Honestly, with all the sports I've played forever, I feel like I'm surprisingly durable. Maybe it's because I haven't held everybody I know that gets like a horrendous injury, and maybe I'm jinx myself in my baseball or football league, but it's like anybody that's gotten a horrendous injury, it's because all of a sudden they tacked on a lot of weight. So their tendons and their bones are the same size, but if you're like plus 50 pounds, it's harder on your joints. I played a lot of hockey. I've never been injured like badly. I've broken bones, but like nothing terrible. I mean, yeah, drinking poison soda makes you strong. If Asmund Gold can drink Dr. Peppers all day, every day, and be like sharp as a tack, maybe I need to get on regular Dr. Pepper again. Torn meniscus in both knees? Yeah, it's terrible. Diet Coke being the millennial cigarette makes me laugh because you love both. I heard sitting is a millennial cigarette. Like, when I've been sitting, I'm using this boba chair thing. It's like a wiggler chair. It's been better for me, I think. And also, now I'm on a standing desk. So it's like, I'm trying not to sit as much as possible because I know how bad it is. Street hockey's fun. Oh yeah, you know me as Bootleg Sub-Zero. That makes sense. That's a deep cut, you know? That's long. So yeah, back to the main story is ICE is still getting harassed for being inside airports because all they are is just trying to get you on your flight in time. They're not doing deportation efforts in the airport, but leave it to the left to say, you know what? If I see a man in uniform, I gotta be against it. I'm certain if this was Joe Biden's ICE, they'd be loving it. But since it's Donald Trump's ICE, I gotta take out all my essentially racism pent up out on you.
Yo, no funny shit. I think it's so crazy when I see Mexicans working for ICE.
Again, they always try to call you an uncle this, uncle that. They She's surprised that a Mexican will work for ICE because they can't tell immigrants apart from each other. Legal immigrants that love America, illegal immigrants that cut the line. They think I'm the same as a Chinese person. They think that I'm going to be a Democrat by default because they literally think the Democrats own minorities.
Like, how y'all came to do that? How y'all came to do that? Your family's mad at y'all.
Don't want to be too judgmental, people. I got tattoos, but honestly, the nail polish choice, the hand tattoo choice, the very dusty sweater, and that laugh lets me know a lot about this person heckling somebody at their job. Protecting us. Literally, they're protecting you, making certain that when you're at the airport, other people there aren't dangerous. They're not undocumented. It's someone that is wanted for crimes or trying to bring in a dangerous item. Yeah. This. But then, being careful not to... This person's already has their information out there. They've been posting things themselves. But I'm careful not to do it on live stream. I don't know what the rules are on some of these platforms. But this person that is known to do the same thing, harass ICE agents at the airport.
Look at that! Look at those fucking Nazi pieces of shit. Doing absolutely fuck all. You're lovely, man. Thank you.
All being polite, they're protecting you, and she's calling them Nazis because apparently she doesn't know the difference between 1940s Germany, rounding people up and ending them, and you working security at an airport. Has no... can't differentiate them at all.
Too small stick and wow.
Again with the racism, we own you. I can't tell a Venezuelan from a Cuban, from a Mexican, from a Dominican, from a legal to an illegal immigrant. I don't know. I'm just gonna round you up there because the Democrats own you. You are a traitor for whatever reason.
Fucking useless piece of shit.
Yeah. So she went viral for doing this, and then apparently she was later seen outside the airport getting arrested. Now this is a long video, but yeah, I can hear her voice again.
All right, thank you. All right, well, go to public sidewalk? Yeah, go to public sidewalk.
Guys that get kicked off on the... But if you're planning to stand on the sidewalk, you won't be able to, so you're blocking the sidewalk.
What law enforcement agency lets him have that hair? That's wild to me.
Stand on the land right in front of the sidewalk, not blocking anything.
It never had a single thought of their own exactly. Okay. So, she got arrested, and you're thinking, okay, you can't harass ICE agents and officers for so long until you get arrested, but then somebody out there pointed out that she only got a citation, trying to get all the information out there. And so, she got a citation for a misdemeanor. Wait, no, citation's an infraction, right? Whatever. So, she got cited, cut loose, but then apparently the Minnesota judge just dismissed the charges and let her walk. So, nothing's stopping them. They're just being able to make their social media moments. Maybe they get heckled for their height and weight, whatever it may be. It doesn't stop them. So that's how you get stuff like this, where you allow them to attack ICE and harass them day in and day out. You get scenes like this where outside the Portland ICE facility, someone just jumps on the officer's vehicle. I don't think I can play this, but yeah, they're trying to leave the ICE facility. They've been doing this for months now. Nobody's ever stopped them, but yes, because they help the narrative. Jumping on the car, incredibly dangerous. All they're trying to do is enforce our border laws. But then they said this has nothing to do with ICE, I believe. This was just a street takeover where they jump on cars, they're lighting off fireworks, they're throwing stuff at the cop cars. Like, they have complete and total anarchy. If you don't allow these people to be arrested for just harassing these agents on the street and getting arrested out there, you can't ever get law and order. But at least one aspect of our society is actually doing something about it. So you have this person right here who was apparently a doctor for Kaiser. It's like a West Coast, a very large hospital chain. But you're her yelling at the ICE agents.
Them a question. Let's see what they say. Excuse me. I just want to say thank you guys for being here, because I know when I wake up in the morning, I'll never be racist pigs like you. No matter how bad I am, I'll never be like you. So,
and I would like to say, oh, so you're not a positive member of society. It's like, no, this was person was apparently a doctor. So you're equally accomplished and you're yelling at essentially hourly government workers because you happen to subscribe to something different online.
Good job. I hope your moms are real proud of you.
They were cute, weren't they? I hope they continue to be best, like Melania be best, because they are being the best at being the worst. So, to them. Some a question. Let's see what they say.
And again, the eyes tell you a lot about this person. But, again, wasn't going to get arrested, wasn't going to face consequences, except for the fact that her hospital said, hey, she was just a contracted care provider at our medical group. She has not provided services since October. We've terminated her contract. And it's very bizarre to me that whenever you have like a left-wing hero that oftentimes are misrepresented as to who they are. Like they were saying, she's a doctor, this or that or whatever. It's like, yeah, I remember Breonna Taylor, they're saying she was an EMT, but she hadn't been an EMT for a long time. I think, was it Alex Preddy? They're saying that he was a VA nurse, but he hadn't worked at the VA for a long time. Like, I think that rumor was he quit his job to become a full-time police antagonizer. And then you also had, I think it was Good, dropping off her kid, but it's like, no, she was just out there antagonizing ICE agents, like from out of town too. And this person wasn't a doctor. There was someone that hadn't worked there for a long time. There was a contracted person. They always try to overinflate who they are. So you say, oh, they're just one of us. It's like, no, I think that you're just a full-time antagonizer. But the crazier part about this is, isn't it the fact that, you know, she was yelling at ICE agents and then got her contract canceled? No. Libs of TikTok, or no, Right Angle News Network, they dug up her old TikTok, which if she never went viral for this thing, being a Kaiser doctor, losing her job, nobody would have saw this thing that she posted herself. But apparently there's an old video of her taking, not Plan B, but a different type of similar medication across state lines to give it to people, where she openly admitted, hey, you're not allowed to give these people this medication in this state. You could go to jail. Not only did she lose her contract at her job, she's now going to prison, I'm guessing. No, it's not Zan. It is something else that other states have made illegal because it ends the life of someone that is unborn. Bye-bye license? And I think it's much worse than bye-bye license. I think this is going to be bye-bye freedom. Like, this isn't you lose your job and you can't work in the medical field, which she never should have been able to work in the medical field in the first place. Like, how someone like that falls between the cracks because nobody noticed that she is so insanely partisan that she couldn't possibly give an ICE agent, like if an ICE agent got shot and was in the ER, I don't think she would provide them proper care. This isn't that woke Netflix hospital show, The Pit or whatever. This is real life. Whether you like someone, you don't like them, you're supposed to give, it's a Hippocratic oath, you're supposed to give them care. She needs to be behind bars. Not Plan C. Yeah, smuggling stuff over state lines, jail time. And it's not just the thing where she's like, oh, I'm a healthcare provider. I was uncertain I couldn't bring this substance over here. No, she actually made a TikTok of her saying, I brought this pill to over state lines. I'm over here. I can't prescribe this and give this to somebody over here, but here we are. Like, I think there was someone on Reddit doing something similar where it was, these kids in this state can't get access to these hormones, but I can teach you how to make it, or I can give it to you. And it's like, you're admitting a huge, horrendous felony, but you're just trying to do it for internet clout. And that's the same thing. It's like, clout can be a dangerous thing, but also these people have become so caught up in their own movement, they forget, no, you can do some serious jail time. You can go to prison forever for doing this. How many of these people hid behind the curtain before they were enticed by TikTok? No, I think TikTok's algorithm purposely made an ecosystem that made people this way. They just want to become, like, they're a doctor, they're a nurse, they're a VA nurse or a doctor, they are a barista or whatever. They don't want to do that job. What they'd rather be is a social media influencer. I just want to, vacation and post, today's video is brought to you by this, or I just want to be a mini pseudo celebrity. I don't want to have a regular job. TikTok started feeding them with the algorithm. You can become famous if you're just a professional anti-Donald Trump person. You're a professional Antifa activist, or whatever it may be. they get so caught up with that, they do a first video, get some hits because they said F Trump or F MAGA or whatever. They constantly have to outdo themselves to cater to this new audience they have. I got 10,000 followers, so I'm going to become more extreme to the left. So what started off as you saying, like, you know, I'm for women's rights and I'm against Donald Trump, somehow spiraled out because algorithm poison has you saying, I just crossed state lines with this substance and this is the way I fight the men and Donald Trump and misogyny or whatever it is. It's like, yeah, it's the algorithm made them chase this thing. They made them a 10 times worse version of themselves. I don't think it was TikTok that, you know, that put them in the open. I think with the absence of social media and TikTok, they never would have gotten that bad. You're glad your doctor's an open Republican? It's scary because I had a friend who, he's Nigerian, his doctor was Nigerian, and him being a young, healthy, mid-20s guy, during COVID, going to his Nigerian doctor, they're like, hey, do I need the vaccine? Do I need these things? And she was like, no, you don't need to wear a mask. It's this. And he said, oh, the medical board called her up to, like, you know, essentially take away her certifications because she was not giving out the appropriate amount of doses for how many patients she had under her care. And it's like, so you can't you can't be a doctor in California if you don't adhere to the Democrat narrative? Scary stuff. Wait, he's a Nigerian prince? No, he is not a Nigerian prince. Like, I can tell you that there's a reason he loves America coming from Nigeria. Did I go to the Nigerian doctor though? No, I personally lost a lot of faith in our medical system after COVID, and I've even had things where it's like, go to the doctor, get blood work done, and I've had, here's a healthy band. Here's a healthy band if you're in your 30s to your 80s, and here's where your number is. Like, you're at the lower part of the healthy thing, and I'm like, okay, I'm at the lower part of the healthy part. Can we figure out how to get me back to like what's more age appropriate for me? And the doctors essentially within my network are like, no, you're healthy, you're fine. I'm like, I don't want to be barely holding on. I want to be like in the middle. But it's like, yeah, the healthcare, unless it's getting me on the pay train where I got to go back and I got to get this over and over and over. It's like, it's insane to me how they don't want to talk about nutrition or sleep or whatever. They just want to talk about, here's your pill, pay for it forever. You had a broken rib and didn't bother with it going to the ER? I feel like that's the stuff. Like, who was it? The guy that's on Joe Rogan all the time says our medical system is really good at treating emergencies. They're not so good at maintaining health. Doctors can be C&D students. How do I put this? I really can't talk about. I would just say that, how do I phrase this in a safe way? A long time ago, I went to a doctor and they said, they took my readings. This is like me, early 20s, and they said, your number's too high. And I was like, okay, so what's the healthy number? This is like 20 years ago. The doctor goes on the system, looks at Google saying, for a 20-year-old guy, what should the reading be? And I was like, fine. And she goes, well, you know what? No. It's I'd rather you be at this number. I'm like, okay, wait. It can only be one of two things. It can either be, you know, my number's not good and I need that treatment, or you don't know what my numbers are. You have to look at Google, and once Google says this thing, you know better than Google. It's like, okay, so if Google's wrong, which it can be, why did you search it in the first place? I lost so much. This is a long time ago too. I lost so much faith in the medical facility. I'm like, no, I think you're literally regarded. You may be a doctor. You may be the person that knows how to take Scantron tests and has a lot of financial assistance so you can go through medical school. But I don't think you are a common sense individual where it can't be both. It can't be, let me search Google and also I don't trust Google. You do not belong in the medical field if that's how it is. You didn't think you were like 40, you look great? I mean, I'm 75, guys. No. If talking about 20 a decade ago doesn't make me 40 unless I'm aging in dog years, which is bad. But no. No, I'm 75, guys. Like Jenna Maroney in 30 Rock. You never want to be... What is it? You don't want to look old for your age. You either want to be 20 or you want to be 70. And you don't want to be 40. You want to look 40 in your 70s, yeah. Decoy has tiger blood like Trump. I mean, Trump has so much energy than me. Like what was I doing? I had I forget what it was. I had a long day and I was like, you know what? I'm going to hibernate for like 2 days. I think it was probably the Dodger game. Just doing a whole bunch of stuff the day before, going to the Dodger game, traveling, doing all that stuff. And for the next 2 days, I just wanted to sleep. And I'm like, how does Trump do it? Trump is like traveling every single day, giving 3-hour-long speeches. Like, I'll do this live stream for like maybe another half an hour, and then I'll be done. I'll be done for like the day. You've seen a 70-year-old Asian woman look good. You're Asian, you could be 75. Exactly. I'd rather be 75 and look this way than be 31 and looking this way. Adrenochrome? I mean, I kind of believe it. Like, remember, what was that show? What was that show? Silicon Valley, where the guy, Gavin Belson, had a blood boy. And it's like, oh, ha, that's such a joke. That'd be a wacky thing to have a young guy transfusing you blood to make you feel younger. But apparently it's a real thing. It's nuts. He doesn't sleep, takes naps, if you recall. You know what? I always feel bad about taking naps because I want to get better sleep at night. And they say if you take naps throughout the day, you can't sleep well at night. But honestly, maybe that's just my what is it, sleep phenotype? Take a lot of naps throughout the day, because honestly, if I take like a 20-minute nap, I can feel great later on. Cat naps are good. I mean, my cat sleeps like 90% of the day, so... Go with your gut? Yeah. I learned with ADHD recently that if you have it, oftentimes people will, what do you call it? As soon as the sun goes down, you feel better and you feel more like alert and you can do stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's how I feel. Like sometimes I'll try to do a video throughout the day and it'll just drag. But if I wait and just kind of dilly-dally, and then as soon as the sun goes down, I can get dialed in and do a video suddenly. You say you work at a physical therapy facility, and I've seen a lot of attractive 60-year-olds because they don't drink and exercise regularly. I thought that for the longest time with Asians, like being in our 20s, some of us would look 18 until we're 30, and some Asians would be like, oh, you look 30 at 24. And I feel like the commonality was, do they drink, smoke, and party a lot? Like lots of late nights. I feel like that was the only thing that really aged us fast. It's like, yeah, I like to drink, but I'm not a big partier, and I'm not a big drinker. Like, drinking every night, 5 nights a week, and I'm like, yeah, the only thing that really makes us puts miles on us was just heavy drinking, which a lot of them do that. Drinking no sleep is a killer, yeah. Coffee nap sounds like you. Yeah, I'm the type of person that when I was working my old regular job, morning coffee, and I can have an afternoon coffee just to kind of break up the workday. I'd go on a walk, get a coffee at like 3 p.m., get my second coffee, go home, be at my home by 6, and take a nap. Like, caffeine wasn't hitting me like that. Evidently, if you chug a coffee cold usually, then take a 20-30 minute nap, the chemicals that would cancel out the caffeine get used up, so it's more effective. Yeah, they're dropping gems in chat. No, never believe what we talk about here. This is mostly just rambling. Again, it could be good information. It could just be old wives' tales. We don't know what's really going on here. So let's go ahead and talk about California right now, because we got a mayoral election coming up soon. And again, I say we as if I live there. I don't live there right now, so Los Angeles has got some issues coming up.
far as mayor. LA Mayor Karen Bass was part of a ribbon-cutting event today for a new mental health center in Chinatown. She feels like this is going to help decrease homelessness across the city, so we got to ask her some questions about that topic. When you drive around LA, do you feel good about what you see?
Well, of course, there are still encampments there. We have many more to remove, but we have removed many. Much more to
We have many more to remove, but we removed many. I feel like she's just trying to make this purposely difficult to hear.
Many more to remove, but we have removed many. Much more to be done.
Mayor got in the elevator right after that question, but then we caught up with her as she was getting into her car.
This is the second year in a row that street homelessness is down.
No. Street homelessness isn't down. You guys just juke the stats by making it harder to report on it. Like, just know that homelessness only went down in Los Angeles because more people were dying. The people were dying faster than new homeless people were becoming homeless, and homeless were getting bussed in. But then also, I think it was it wasn't LAHSA, it was the other homeless authority. They said they changed the parameters of how they could count it. So no longer could they say somebody living inside a trailer was homeless, and also they were only allowed to count the homeless, I think it was like during daytime hours. Like, they cut the amount of time they can count the homeless, they reclassified what homeless is, and now they're saying, you know what, homelessness is down, and it's nonsense.
Services Authority reporting a decrease in homelessness 2 years in a row.
Verified by several different entities. It wasn't just LAHSA.
But there's just overall a lack of trust with these numbers. It's not what people see.
I understand that, but I will tell you something. It is absolutely what you see if you live on a block or you had a business where there was a large encampment and that encampment is gone.
But they clean it up for a photo op, they come right back. Everybody knows that's the case, but here she is trying to say, don't believe what you see. I'm telling you a story about the ideal circumstances of my policies working.
It's not come back for years. Now, again, we have much more to do.
Right, again, the whole thing with, like, we've got much more to do, but this is the person that said MacArthur Park is amazing. I believe she got mad when ICE cleaned it up. They did their sweep with the horses over there. And then I believe somebody lost their life not too shortly after that. And then MacArthur Park got overrun again with the homeless. Open air drug market. ICE made a raid because there was like some gang operating out of it. She got upset about it, and now it's been since been controlled by the homeless again. Now she's trying to sell it to us. Oh, it's working. It's working. I'm against any law enforcement taking care of it, but you know what? Just trust what I'm saying.
Recent audit raised serious concerns about LAHSA and transparency with their money and how they've spent billions of dollars.
Always been my top priority.
Do you think LAHSA should get more money?
No, the question is, we have to make sure that the system runs better.
Yeah, it's broken. Okay, we can agree on this.
There's a lot of problems with the system. We have to address that. We have to make the dramatic changes. And
somebody has to solve the problems that I made. Vote for me to solve those.
Frankly, coming into office and focusing on street homelessness that had not been focused on before.
Didn't Newsom say he's been tackling homelessness for the last several decades?
To me, is the first step, but we have much further to go.
We're speaking with people. They see the trash on the streets.
Yes.
They see the encampments. They don't feel like this is getting better. They'll call 311. Their lights are out for.
And I'll give you my personal story. Make it brief, told the story many times, is there's a homeless guy outside my business over in a nicer part of LA. Needle in his arm, passed out in a parking lot, dangerously in the street. I called 911. Hey, there's a guy unconscious. Looks like he has a syringe in him. Send out somebody who needs help. He might not be with us. 911 operator gets the fire department on the line. Fire department says, okay, look, he's homeless. We can't come out unless LAPD comes out. They get LAPD on the line. They say, hey, Decoy, you the guy calling us, you need to detain him while you have him. I'm like, no, he's knocked out. He's on the street. I'm not in the capacity where I feel comfortable handcuffing a unconscious, syringed up, homeless guy I don't know in a parking lot. Send somebody out. That's why I'm paying taxes. That's why I'm calling 911. This is on you. LAPD reiterates, we're not going out there unless you detain him. And then a fire says, we're not coming out unless LAPD comes out. So I say, and then 911 operator asks me, so you gonna detain him? I'm like, fuck fuck no, I'm not gonna detain this guy. He could wake up and attack me, or he might be gone and then sues me. So I'm like, no, I'm not gonna touch him. LAPD says, okay, we're not showing up, hangs up. LA Fire says, okay, they're not coming, we're not coming, hang up. And then 911 says, okay, we can't dispatch anybody, hangs up. 911 hanging up on me. Homeless services is getting worse. But again, they don't document that. This guy might be gone. He might just be a junkie. He gets up and then, you know, harms somebody. He's selling, whatever it may be. They keep on saying what we're doing is working. We're focusing on homelessness. But it's like, yeah, they're just juking the stats by making it everybody's so indifferent to serving them or trying to help these people, which oftentimes should just be incarceration, but that's too uncomfortable for them.
I mean, what can we do to fix this?
Well,
No, you don't sound like top flight security. No, I've never been top flight security. I know who they are, though.
A lot of things that we can do, are doing, much more to do in terms of the encampments, decreasing and resolving encampments. Every week we are resolving different.
You don't want to be one of those people like, oh, I can read your body language, but the whole like shaking your head no while you're lying, I feel like it's a tell. Like, I'm doing a good job. Like, even you don't buy the shit you're selling.
Decreasing and resolving encampments. Every week we are resolving different encampments. As a matter of fact, the last one we resolved, which was a few days ago, housed 25 different people.
How would you grade your term so far as mayor?
Thank you.
How would you grade your term so far as mayor?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, because she can't grade it A, because grading herself A, showing the suffering, makes her look like she's doing a bad job. She can't rate herself D by saying, oh, I'm doing a bad job, but vote for me to do a good job. Yeah, she's stuck with this. But then I think, is this the same guy from Fox showing out there in Van Nuys how much copper wire they're stealing?
Strike again, this time stealing cables out of here.
They opened the lid and it's heavy, I'm guessing. They slammed it. That woke me up.
That's when she started recording this video. It's from around 3 a.m. Monday morning. One crook wearing a hoodie, the other shirtless with a medical mask, surgically removing those underground copper cables.
And the sad part is, some of these guys have to have like backgrounds as electricians to do this. Like in the plaza that I worked at a long time ago, we were getting this really cool new restaurant. And then it got delayed for a long time because when the building was just bare bones, somebody came through and stole the electrical panel. I think the chat told me what it was. But somebody stole the electrical panel, but it wasn't like something simple where you can just like cut off the copper wires and take it. It's like they had to know how to disconnect this thing or else they would have died. And they also know to steal this panel, it's not something that gets scrapped. It's like very expensive, so it has to be detached correctly to be resellable, and also you have to have a buyer, a very specific buyer that knows that they're buying a stolen electrical panel. I forgot what it was called, but it was setting back society by like a whole month. Like this business couldn't open because they had to order another one, and maybe even ordered the same one that was stolen from them. But the sad part is, it was an expert. It was someone that has a skill as an electrician, to have the know-how to get this thing, to know that it's going to be there at this stage of the construction, possibly someone that was actually working on the construction team, stealing it, and then getting away with it because they know that no one's coming for them.
Their getaway car, a black Scion. Did it seem like they took a lot of stuff?
It did. It was 3 loads of bags.
Yeah, they know the shit.
Copper wire.
You called 911?
I did. The moment that thing woke me up, I did. I was invested and I was like, I want to see what's going to happen. I want the cops to show up. I want to maybe see it later in the news.
And the thing is, like, judging by the liberals, they would say, wait, you're a Latino female. Shouldn't you be owned by the Democrat Party? Shouldn't you be offended by whatever, if those guys are minorities being arrested by law enforcement? Like, they literally think that none of us want law and order. It's ridiculous.
It's about a block away from where that happened. AT&T here. Is that happening a lot?
Oh yeah.
See, the streetlights have also been hit. All these cables ripped up.
And the homeless people around my block would constantly open it up, trying to charge their cell phones, charge their or get lights on in their tent. Either knock out the lights for the entire block or set their own tent ablaze. Happening constantly. And the sad part is like, all they're doing is just trying to survive. They're just trying to, light their tent and get warmth. And it's like, no, you throw these guys in prison for decades. I don't care, because we can't live in a society like this. Like, this is Nigerian shit. Oh, you put in infrastructure for lights or for running water, they just scrap it up so they can go to the scrapyard, sell the copper wire, and then buy meth. You cannot have those people in your society. I don't care how bad it looks.
Another one. More cables ripped out. Right now, there's about
The entire
32,000 active streetlight repair requests across LA. How long did it take for police to show up?
Over an hour.
And here's the thing is, even if you get somebody to repair it and fix it, it doesn't do you anything. It doesn't do you anything to have that one light post repaired until you get rid of the problem, which is the people actively destroying it and stealing it. And also, you not only imprison those guys for, I say, decades, imprison the scrapyards that know they're not supposed to be taking that amount of copper wire. Like, no junkie comes through with a shopping cart or a Toyota Scion filled with copper wiring multiple times a week. Put that guy that's buying the recycling stuff, like oftentimes they'll get paid pennies on the dollar so they can help the shady people sell that stuff. Put that guy in jail for decades too. Everybody in the chain, prison forever. I don't care. We need to fix this.
Like, they got here 10 minutes after they left, so I was like, oh my god, you guys almost had them.
Yeah, and then his thing is like, oh, they got here 10 minutes after. Who knows if those people are actually doing it either have a police scanner, have a lookout, or just they know how long the police response times are. You can't save the city like this. But again, Karen Bass thinks that you're going to vote for this again. It's got to be harvested ballots because, again, there's more stuff. Not only stealing copper wiring, but living in the sewers still. This is crazy to me.
All right, so over here we got... Sheesh, what's your name, brother?
Jared.
This isn't good. Don't stop letting him live in suffering like this.
Hold up. Look at this shit. Y'all wouldn't even fucking believe this. Check out this hole.
Hey.
Sheesh.
This isn't humane. This isn't like he's making a little social media video off it, but it's like this is suffering right here. Get the guy help. If it's forced sobriety, that's what it's got to be. We can't just let this happen right now. But again, you have everybody that's voting for this nonsense. Well, yeah, what is it? Reality TV star Jason Oppenheim gets what he votes for, even declaring his regrets for Newsom. Apparently, he had his $500,000 Rolls Royce stolen in broad daylight in West Hollywood. Very similar to what we saw over in New York City, where those people got their all those fancy cars broken into on Easter Sunday.
I woke up a little frustrated this morning, and no better way to address it than to make a video and post it on social media. So here goes. A few days ago, my best friend and her husband were the victims of a robbery. And not only did the robbers steal all of their possessions, but my dog, our dog, was found in the middle of the street, our puppy, and that means his life was at risk. Luckily, he's okay. And then we called 911, and the police said that they wouldn't be able to come out to the property for a few days.
Oh, they're going to tell you to go file it online. Here's the game the LAPD plays. File the report online. The coppers all the time don't want to deal with shit. File it online. You file it online. And maybe in 3 to 5 days, they'll email you back saying, we want this evidence now. You upload it. And then they say in 3 to 5 days, you know what? This doesn't qualify for online reporting. So now you have to go into the station. Take time out of your day. Go to the substation. File it. Maybe you have the stuff still. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're indifferent to what you got. Like if you got robbed or if your car got vandalized. You're like, this is too much. I'm not going down to the station. And then it just never gets filed again. Your incident never gets a case number. Or you never get an incident number. It's just a report that got rejected. They're doing everything they can to not enforce the law, not to get the crime down, but to get the crime rates down. And when criminals get away with criminal activity, they commit more crime. It's nuts.
That's not the fault of the police. The police department has 8,600 police officers.
It's not the fault of the police because you voted for Mayor Karen Bass, who villainized law enforcement, and now they can't do their job. Mayor Karen Bass is going to get a chief of police that is very in line with defunding the police. She will defund the police on the back end by saying, we're going to cancel new academy classes. That doesn't necessarily make less officers on the front end, where it says there's going to be an academy, it's going to be 100 officers. We're going to move it from April down to June. You're still going to have the same amount of officers, but it's like, no, but it takes down the replenishment numbers of cops, and then you slowly fall behind further and further.
Expectation by the end of this year. That's the lowest level.
You said it looks like a spa. Yeah, he's living lavishly. Meaning to say, even the people in their ivory tower, like, look how tall that roof is and how much space he has. The average Los Angeles resident lives in a closet-sized apartment in the hood, and it's even impacting him. But again, the rich people can vote and be all this liberal nonsense and say, you know, tax the rich, but then once the taxes become too high, too many services need to be paid for, they can escape to somewhere else with their money. Meanwhile, the hourly workers in LA don't have that luxury.
Police officers in the Los Angeles Police Department in 30 years, despite unbelievably high crime right now and a myriad of different robberies.
Yes.
And I just wish the governor and the mayor would address this by funding.
You can't get the mayor and governor to fund it and address it because you voted for them to ignore it. You gotta vote for new people.
Our police and also our fire department. You know, we've defunded both of those, and yet we spend tens of billions of dollars, actually over $100 billion, on bullet trains from Merced
it never got built.
Bakersfield.
I'm more concerned about the tens of billions of dollars that went to actual, like, that. The bullet train's probably fraud. I'm more concerned about the literal, actual fraud of getting sent to, like, hospice care and medical facilities and autism care. Like, these are things that we really need in society, but most of it went to foreign fraudsters that sent the money out of country. I'm more concerned about that.
$60-70 billion over budget and probably 15 years away, and will be completely obsolete by the time they're finished. So
we'll get to the moon and back before they can build a train.
I'm just asking that our politicians come back to common sense. Your first.
And the thing is, who wants to take a train to Bakersfield? I am a big advocate of, not advocate, supporter? Whatever. Rich people don't want they don't want public transit near them. Right now, I say I live in a very nice town, and a very, like, it's like more upscale than anywhere I've lived before. The only place that has graffiti and garbage, I'm talking about bikes left behind, graffiti on walls, trash on the ground, is near bus stops. Because there's a disparity of rich and poor people, and the buses is just where they seem to congregate at. Beverly Hills doesn't want a bus stop. They don't want a train stop. They want to drive their fancy cars. Anybody saying, we're going to put all these bus stops and trains everywhere, they don't represent the people because they know what it brings in.
Priority is to keep the citizens safe. And we're not safe. I've got friends leaving Los Angeles every day.
Yes.
Because they don't feel safe. Because of crime, because of homelessness. It's not fair. It's not right. We have the money.
Get what you voted for. We had the money, but you voted for someone that is just known to not get shit done.
We have the tax revenue. We just spend it on saving the smelt fish or bullet trains to nowhere.
Yes.
Can we please, at least if we're going to do that stuff, can we double the budget?
No. See, now you're asking for more money. You're saying, we spent $100 billion on this train, $100 billion on this stuff. It's not like, you know, we have a large, but like most of LA City's budget is on the coppers. If you tie their hands behind their back and throw them in jail whenever they are perceivably doing bad in the public's eye and social media's eye, it's never going to get better. Doubling the budget of LAPD and doubling the budget of your train and your smelt fish doesn't fix the underlying issue of villainizing law enforcement when it looks bad. And I can almost guarantee, he'll complain about his car getting broken into and he not feeling safe when he walks his dog at night. But should there be a Breonna Taylor-like incident where the media portrays her as an EMT, here's her getting roses, isn't she law-abiding? And the media villainizes the police for ending her life, but later on it's turned on, they have her on wiretap, or they have the other people on wiretap videos, wiretap phone calls saying she was a part of it, she was being used as a human shield from a boyfriend in a shootout from the law enforcement. But if it sounds like she was an EMT sleeping soundly in her bed and the evil racist police shot her, I'm almost guaranteeing he would be again saying, defund the police. We can't have this. That's racist. It only bothers him when it impacts him. It's crazy.
Los Angeles Fire Department and the Los Angeles Police Department. Can we have 15,000 police officers instead of 8,000 police officers?
Do you want the numbers to respond to your robbery call, or do you want the harsh reality of we have the officers and they're gonna go hands-on with some protesters? when a guy's shoplifting from your local Target, they might catch a beat down when they're being arrested. If there's a guy having a mental breakdown inside a Starbucks coffee and he's a homeless guy, do you have the stomach to see LAPD forcefully put him on the ground? Do you have the stomach for an insane person inside a 7-Eleven reaching for something in their waistband and getting wasted by law enforcement by multiple rounds? Oh my God, they hit him with 100 rounds. Do you have the stomach to say that was necessary? Do you have the stomach to see those beatings? Do you have the stomach to see those long life sentences? Do you have the stomach to see someone getting hit with 100 rounds from law enforcement because every single, like, 50 wasn't enough? They kept on getting up and moving. It's not like a video game, 5 rounds in somebody. Unless you have the stomach to see law enforcement in action, don't sit here and say, we need to fund it more, because it doesn't change the fact that Karen Bass is going to villainize her coppers if they enforce a law in a way that could portray her as too heavy-handed with law enforcement.
Because guess what? We have video of these 3 people in masks and gloves jumping the fence and robbing.
Do you have the stomach to see those three men with masks and gloves being ended? Because sad to say, sometimes that's what not needs to be done, but that's sometimes what happens. Somebody with masks and gloves jumps the fence of somebody's home, and then somebody opens fire on them. You don't want them to lose their life over property crimes, but that's the reality of things right now. If you don't want that to be the case when law enforcement arrives instantaneously and sees a guy hopping a fence with a mask and glove holding a firearm, he might be ended. Are you okay with that?
Mary and Romaine, and taking everything and risking the life of our dog. But yet, there's fingerprints probably. Who knows what evidence there is. There's a stolen license plate that we have on camera. It's just so frustrating because this is happening to good people all over this city. And of course, people are going to rob people because they know there's no consequences. Of course, they're going to steal their car. So please, can we just come back to common sense? Newsom, I voted for you. I regret that now because...
Yes.
You're just worried about getting reelected and placating your base, and you're not worried about...
See, here's the thing, is he's not in tune enough. And I don't expect everybody to be hyper-political. Newsom isn't running for re-election. He's capped out. Can no longer be governor. He's trying to position himself to run for president later on because the Democrat is a graveyard in terms of good candidates to run. Like, they won't let Shapiro run because... Unfortunately, his religion's not very popular amongst his base, or amongst the Democrats' base right now. It's sad that because you're a religion, you can't run for president. I think that's disgusting. But the sad fact is, they don't have anybody, so Newsom thinks that he can be gifted it from his Auntie Pelosi to run for president. If you don't even know that he's not running for re-election, you don't know what's going on in the world. Again, I don't trust what he's saying. I think he means well, but I don't think he knows enough to be making any of the statements.
Your most important responsibility, and same with you, Karen Bass, and that is protecting the people of this city and this state.
Yeah. They didn't vote for that, though. They voted for wokeness. They voted for representation. It's sad, but I like Caleb Hammer. He's that financial audit guy. They're talking about the high-speed rail. Like, he was saying, oh my God, it's so much fraud or whatever. California high-speed rail is creating good-paying jobs for hard-working members of the trades. 16,000 jobs created, 1,600 daily workers dispatched. But he's like, wait, shouldn't the train be creating a high-speed rail? How the fuck do we employ 16,000 people and create 0 feet of track? It's just fraud. It's just fraud. 100%, it's just fraud only. And the sad part is, they're saying they need more billions. They didn't produce anything except for a need for more money. Again, it's just a scheme to say, hey, don't you want autistic kids to get care? Don't you want a train to take you to Vegas? These are things that most people can agree on, yes, so it can be used to bleed the tax base because nobody wants to say, I'm against the train or I'm against giving hospice care to people. It becomes ripe with fraud because you guys these politicians are too dense to admit they have an issue.
As we speak right now, are the funds there to complete LA to San Francisco?
The entire amount of money we need, not there today. But do we believe...
Here's the thing, it's again, the guy saying, we need more money for law enforcement. If it failed the first time, you can't keep on pushing the button expecting a different result. Failed the first time, it's going to fail the next time. You can give them $1 trillion. I think it's just going to go to enriching the governor's buddies.
Believe we can get those funds to get the project done? Absolutely.
How much do you estimate it's going to cost to connect high-speed rail San Francisco to LA?
Today, we estimate with the right optimization, just over $125 billion. I think 120.
I think, you know what? If I could be a fraudster at this level, hey, you gave me hundreds of billions of dollars, I didn't get anything done. Just another $150 billion that gets me over the hump, and with a straight face on it, I wish I could be this evil.
$26 billion is the current estimate for that.
The current, I like how he said current estimate. It's subject to change. Subject to change. You know what? I might need another $150 billion, but let me see if I can fleece the first $150 billion.
Amtrak has received in its history and still leaves a shortfall of roughly
And
$90
again,
billion.
most first world nations haven't had trains that look like this for like decades, and yet this is what we got going. No, it's not the absence of technology, it's just the corrupt Democrat Party.
Amtrak has received in its history and still leaves a shortfall of roughly $90 billion.
That's a big gap to fill.
It is a big gap to fill, but again, we have an understanding of how to get there and to fill that gap.
A gap
as we speak right now.
Give us more money. It's all been fraud. It's just a jobs program, which is sad because the government has become a jobs program for useless college graduates. Like, I remember hearing about how Donald Trump wants to cut all these government jobs. Like, they're useless. There's all this bloat. Like, just how Elon Musk went into Twitter, got rid of most of the employees, and Twitter's better than ever now. Trump wanted to say, hey, Doge, go in there and cut government spending. And they found it was something, I forgot, some absurd number, but cutting all these government jobs was going to, like, it was disproportionately going to impact the population of black female graduates. And it's like, they're saying these policies are racist. It's going to target black females in the workplace. But I'm like, wait. Why are they so overrepresented in government work that is conceivably useless? Like, you could cut it out of with the Doge program saying, why are we paying for these people work from home? They're not doing anything. Get rid of their positions. It's not going to impact the government's bottom line. Like, why are they overrepresented in that? And it's like, yeah, because the government has just become a jobs program. Like, remember when Biden put out those good, excellent jobs numbers? And it was later, it would say, unemployment, where we made 500,000 new jobs or something like that. And then a month later, they say, oh, the jobs numbers adjustment says it wasn't 500,000. It was actually 50,000. But only 2,000 of those were in the private sector. 48,000 of them were government jobs. And it's like, yeah, because it's just become, hey, we got a blank check. Let's start hiring DEI things and just calling that the solution. No, it's not sustainable. But California is in trouble. Not only Bass, but Newsom.
And America's fraud investigations bring us to the Golden State of California. Look at this number, $146 billion. Health and Human Service officials confirmed that number to Chris Rufo as the staggering...
Yeah, if we just get rid of fraud, I think we can cut income tax. Like, this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is one agency. If they actually did a deep dive and actually really made everybody reapply for SNAP benefits, no benefits going to illegals, no healthcare, no nothing, I think we can get rid of income tax.
Amount of fraud in a single program in Gavin Newsom's state Medicaid system. Stop and think about that. $146 billion, a single program, a single state. That is slightly more than Warren Buffett's estimated net worth. It is more than the GDP of several small countries like the Marshall Islands and Dominica.
And how much of our money goes to other countries? I think what most of the GDP of Somalia was just remittances from America. This is crazy.
Just to name a few. And it is well over $100 billion more than the most valuable NFL team, the Dallas Cowboys.
The Cowboys had nothing to do with this.
That is just for Medicaid, just in California. So imagine what the total number of fraud is when you count all the social programs in all 50 states. The Trump administration is imagining that, and they are now taking action in a stunning raid of hospice facilities in Gavin Newsom's California. Now, just this week, the Justice Department announced 8 people were arrested accused of defrauding the state out of more than $50 million. That includes one couple who runs a hospice care center in Anaheim. And in dramatic fashion, authorities swarmed their residents, sawing through the metal front gates.
And remember, they made this big bust, arrested a lot of people. A lot of them had last names that start with IAN. And this isn't just like being all angry towards that group. This is just facts about that raid. Remember, Newsom said this was a civil rights violation for Dr. Oz to say, hey, look, this group is doing hospice care fraud. And then we're seeing these little arrests right here. Did Newsom come back and say, you know what, I'm sorry, Dr. Oz, you were right. This was occurring amongst this community. Not a racial attack. He didn't say, get rid of everybody with that last name. No, he just said, there's a fraud element of this group. That's it. You can say a disease comes from China. Chinese people don't need to be offended. You can say something, I don't know. It's crazy how they always try to hide behind racism because they don't want to address the issue they created.
Property and used a loudspeaker to get them to come outside. The couple is accused of defrauding taxpayers to the tune of $7 million. And according to reports, their center has been a problem for years. Over the past 5 years, they reported more than 97% of their patients lived, and that's in hospice. That is unheard of.
And like we keep on saying that either these hospice cares have like such a low mortality. Wait, is it high or low? I think it's a low mortality rate. They're saving everybody. Either they have the secret to everlasting immortality, or they're defrauding Americans. Either way, let's investigate it. Don't call it racist. I just want to know what's actually happening.
90% of patients, on average, die less than 6 months after admission.
Yeah, no, it's been fraud. They don't want to address it. But again, this is either it's fraud of our medical benefits, or just light fraud of our efforts to build a train. The money goes nowhere. But the sad part is Newsom, he's already termed out. Who's trying to replace him? Well, it's Smallwell, which is Fang Fang's ex. Apparently, they said he's been using campaign cash to pay for his wife watching their kids. Child care, his wife gets $2,000. I wonder if this is per month? This is per week? This is not a good start, but again, this is the guy that is using allegedly somebody's address to say that it looks like he lives in California when it really doesn't. But does he plan on switching it up, apologizing, maybe addressing the Fang Fang thing? How does he plan on winning this election that he's campaigning on and allegedly paying his wife with the funds from? No. He doesn't plan on winning based on merit. He plans on winning like this.
Vote by phone. I think every Californian
vote by phone.
Vote by phone. Yeah, if we can do our taxes, do our make our healthcare appointments, make essentially do your banking online.
Please tell me that you know the difference between looking at your account balance, paying your taxes, and hailing an Uber. Please tell me you know that's a little bit different than voting for the president. But again, go on.
You should be able to vote by phone. Make it safe, make it secure, but it's actually already happening all over the United States. I want us to be a blue state that doesn't do just a little bit better than like Georgia or Alabama when it comes to like voting access. I want us to max out democracy. Also, as it relates to democracy, if you wait in line for 30 minutes or more, if you do want to vote in person, I think you should fine every county for every minute that a person has to wait longer. We have to be better.
How much money does he think is available to voting booths? Does he think that voting is just this thing that you should be able to text 5151 to vote for the American Idol winner or whatever? Like, again, it's socialism, communism. It's all based in naive well-intentions. Oh my God, it should be easy to vote, but it's like, no, it should be your civic duty, like going to jury duty or whatever. It should be difficult. It should be not purposely a long and arduous process, but it shouldn't be something that's so simple that you don't even know who it is and you just text the wrong thing or whatever. It's like he talks about max out democracy because he thinks it's going to benefit him. I'm 110% positive. If Donald Trump wins the 2028 election, not even being on the ballot, if Donald Trump wins the 2028 election on a 1,000% voter turnout, they're going to suddenly want voter ID. But it's because they're under the assumption that either they're better at this form of maxing out democracy, or the Republicans won't do this form of maxing out democracy. But I don't trust my phone to do bank transactions or whatever. Like I want to do things in person. Fundamentally changing how secure our elections are is just making us more vulnerable to fraud. Makes me believe that he's planning on being on the winning side of that equation.
not just a little bit better than the other states. The DMV. I don't think Californians should have to go in person to the DMV anymore. I think we can do that virtually. I think you can have the DMV.
Who are they planning on giving IDs to if they don't think they want you to want to verify things in person?
Employees do it virtually, but that's a lot of real estate.
Is that the most popular position?
Digitize the DMV. Digitize the DMV.
Today? Yeah.
We can modernize the state, and I look forward to bringing these ideas to Californians.
Yeah, he wants to bring all these ideas to Californians. I wonder how much of that is a Chinese value that he wants to import over here. But good thing that just because it's taken him a long time over in Minneapolis, where, Nick Shelley hit California, but first he hit Minneapolis and Minnesota, it looks like they're finally starting to look into them over there for their fraud that benefits foreign countries.
Fox News alert: Ilhan Omar under investigation after racking up millions while she was in Congress. Senior national correspondent Kevin Corke has it. What's up, Kevin?
Good to see you, my friend. What's the old saying? Follow the money? Well, that's precisely what the House Oversight Committee is doing. They are probing squad member Ilhan Omar's skyrocketing family wealth, Jesse, especially in the wake of that $9 billion, some would argue $19 billion, Somali social services fraud scandal.
I'm a little bit more concerned about the winery that is explicitly against her religion. And apparently, who was it? Angela Rose went there to try to find out the physical location. Like, where is her winery that makes this many $1 million? Apparently was never there.
That exploded in her district in Minnesota. The oversight chair, James Comer, says his team's lawyers are exploring the extraordinary step of subpoenaing Omar's spouse over his curious business practices.
Is this the spouse that is allegedly her sibling, or is this a different spouse?
Republicans want to know how the Somali-born Omar and her politically connected husband, Tim Manette, went from being nearly broke to being worth around $30 million in just a year, according to her 2024 disclosure forms. Quoting Comer now, there are a lot of questions as to how her husband accumulated so much wealth over the past 2 years. It's not possible. It's not. And he's a money guy. Manette and his partner, Will Haler, back in 2022, formed an investment firm, Jesse, named Rose Lake Capital. They had $42 in their bank account at the time, but in a year, up to $25 million, according to Omar's filing. By the way, he also has a wine business that went.
And if she's that good at managing her own personal finances, why not put her on some panel in Congress to save America from the national debt? Like, if you can turn $5 to $30 million, fix other things. But again, I think it's due to fraud.
From next to nothing to millions on its books. Not surprisingly, associates were so perplexed about the irregularities, they brought information and attention to the feds to, look into it. Now, for her part, the Congresswoman has repeatedly, and I say defiantly, denied any wrongdoing while being also careful to criticize the ongoing probe. But, sometimes they say, Jesse, the ones who yell the loudest have the most to hide.
Yeah.
Well, innocent until proven guilty. I'm sure everything was perfectly legal. We're just checking to find out. Kevin, good to see you.
That's the whole thing. They say trust but verify, which means you don't trust them. It's like, no, let's just look into it. Prove your innocence. That's fine. But again, Minneapolis doesn't have the best to provide because, they're looking into fraud over there in Minnesota. And what's the potential vice president, Tim Walz, what's he got to say?
True. This creates danger.
Looking into fraud.
And I'll tell you what, in my time on this, I'd never seen this before. People driving by my house and using the R word in front of people. This is shameful. And I have yet to see an elected official, a Republican elected official, say, you're right, that's shameful.
Because it's not. People call me that all the time. It's not like I'm not going on camera to cry, there was mean words about it. You need to denounce the people that say mean words to me. It's like, no, you're objectively terrible. I don't think you represent America. And it's like, I think you actually probably are that regarded. I think you are. Like, I genuinely think you are. This is not a travesty. We don't need to denounce it if it's probably true. But again, it's protected by your First Amendment right.
Not say it. So look, I'm worried. We know how these things go. They start with taunts, they turn to violence. So.
Okay, we've seen a lot of that in New York City where it's like they taunt American Christians and then they shout AA and throw explosive devices and then later on say, we wanted this to be worse than the Boston bombing. Do you have anything to say about that? Because you say, they called me the R word. How come Republicans aren't denouncing it? Well, we saw a literal attempted terror attack in New York City. Has any Democrats spoken up about that? That isn't John Fetterman. Nah, he's ridiculous.
Deeply concerned. True.
Hey, you said it was a projection per usual. It's all projection. They don't really have anything to actually criticize the right for. So it's just it's always pure projection because they want to fearmonger. Like, I know a lot of people that will vote blue no matter who, and they're completely top to bottom captured by the Democrat Party, but it's because the Democrats have them living in fear. If the Republicans take office, they're gonna, nullify gay marriage. They're gonna take away our rights. They're gonna put us in camps or whatever. It's like, they always say those things because they know they can't get them with facts. They can only get them with emotions. If you're afraid enough, you'll vote for us and we'll continue to own you. We don't actually have to provide the services we campaign on. We don't actually have to make certain that you can prosper in America and you can afford a home one day. All we have to do is say, hey, the other side will end you, so you have to continue to vote for us. And it's like they've been running on cruise control for far too long. Yeah, he said he's also friends with school pew-pewers. Exactly. I think he's regarded. Like, you couldn't run a campaign that regarded unless you had a regard running with another regard and having weird-ass little Doritos moments on television. Like, they were both generationally bad candidates, because I think the Democrats probably would have ran if they had a primary. Probably would have ran a RFK, or they would have ran a Tulsi Gabbard. And for VP, if they didn't, shoehorn in Kamala, she probably would have chose a Shapiro, which, I don't think they would have won still because Trump is he's that popular, but they would have had more of a chance if they didn't just try to say, the Democrats are the party of the democracy, even though we don't have a primary. And, when there was Andrew Yang, Tulsi Gabbard, Bernie Sanders, and I forgot there was another candidate. There was I just remember Bernie Sanders and Tulsi were running good campaigns against, it was either Hillary or Biden. And they just changed the rules. You need to pull this much, or you need to have this much funds. So Tulsi, you're out of the race now. It's like, no, she was probably the front runner to run for president, and I think that she would have pulled a lot better than Bernie and probably Hillary, then Biden. So it's like they always just try to shoehorn and say, oh, we're not gonna have a primary because Biden's healthy. No, he's not healthy. Here's Kamala. Isn't she African American? Yeah, fear-mongering or fear-mongering. Fear-maxing. That's the party of the Democrats. Fear-maxing right now. Yeah, there were 11 candidates, at least in 2020, but they forced you Clinton because that's who the party wanted, and you couldn't choose otherwise. Yeah, Andrew Yang, vote for me and I'll give you $1,000. No, Andrew Yang was vote for me and I'll give you whipped cream on your knees. It was a very weird campaign, but I hated the idea that I knew people saying, hey, Decoy, did you see this Andrew Yang guy? He was on Joe Rogan. I think you'd like him. It's like, no, I think he's garbage. Like, there's never been a weaker candidate, in my opinion. I don't think Andrew Yang could go toe-to-toe with a Xi, with a Iran, with a Venezuela. No, that wasn't going to work. Did you fall out from a coconut tree? Exactly. And it was sad because I saw so many people trying to covertly support the Democrats. Like, they're almost afraid to be political, but like, oh, I'm team coconut tree. And I was like, yeah, in the part of the internet you are on, you just lost a lot of your fan base. And it was sad because I even knew this one girl. She's a live streamer. She had a couple viral moments. It was funny. And then her career wasn't where it should be. I'm like, wow, everybody knows who you are. How come you're not big time now? And I remember she was either making jokes. I think she was making jokes about Charlie Kirk. And I was like, this is why you haven't made it. This is why. Because you think the left, because they're artificially propped up with ballot harvesting, with paid for influencers and social media algorithms, you think that's the majority of your viewers, but it's not, and you're alienating everybody. Is it racist to fall out of a coconut tree? No, it's just idiotic. Yes, man tactics, exactly. Democrats like to race identify for racial points because they literally think it's easier to pander to low information idiots that would just hand you their support because we're the same race. Like, always bring this up, but Joe Biden gets in office. They run on Stop Asian Hate. Stop Asian Hate gets steam until Mohammed Anwar gets killed by those 2 black teens. The girls over in DC. So Stop Asian Hate has to go away because like they're like, well, who's killing the Asians? And it's like, yeah, that was the news media said it's damaging or other talking points. So they stopped the Stop Asian Hate thing. Biden gets in office. First thing is Asians having a lawsuit against the Ivy League for discriminating on us with affirmative action. Biden cancels, he blocks that lawsuit, and then invites BTS, Korean pop supergroup. I might even have some BTS here. I like BTS. But at the time, of the 7 members of BTS, only one of them spoke English. So Biden brings in BTS in the Oval Office, plays one of their songs, and kind of like weirdly dances with it, and says, you know, Asians are, you know, are being discriminated on, so I got BTS in here. Asians still being discriminated in the Ivy League, still getting murdered in San Francisco. But don't you feel good, Asians, because Biden brought on BTS to speak to them in English when they don't understand it. And BTS might be, they're amazing dancers and singers, but they have no idea what the Asian experience is in San Francisco. Why the fuck do I care if BTS likes Biden or not? And I'm not gonna hate on them for being invited to the White House, because it's like, if I got invited to Ireland to meet their president, I'm not in tune with Irish politics. I wouldn't know if it's a liberal or Democrat. I'm like, hey, it's an honor. The politician wants to congratulate me? Cool, I might go. BTS can go, but it shouldn't buy our votes. But again, they're race maxing to the max because they think that it's easy to pander to us. It's ridiculous. Just like when the monkeypox outbreaks reports went away quickly. Yeah, that was supposed to be the new pandemic. Get your vaccine, monkeypox. It looks terrible. And they realize, hey, it's kind of an STD. And wait. Why are kids and dogs getting it? That was questions nobody wanted to answer. And it went away overnight. Yeah, it wasn't BTS. BTK. That BTK is the serial murderer. BTS is Bangtan Soldiers or something like that. They got a weird name. Like the guy RM, his rap name was Rap Monster. As they've gotten more popular, they've adjusted some things. Who the F thinks about, who cares what Ja Rule thinks at this time? Exactly. Nobody cares about what BTS thinks about Stop Asian Hate. They live surrounded by security. They cannot go to a grocery store. Even in America now, they're too popular. Like, I don't care about what the elite thinks about what the average bus riding citizen thinks. Bangtan Boys? Okay, that's what it is, yeah. Bird flu, swine flu, monkeypox. I think they're all just looking for the new clicks. Like, the new virus becomes a thing. They can fearmonger on that. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get to some super chats over on YouTube right now. Chris says, what are your thoughts about the recent Charlie Kirk shrapnel news? Also, what are your thoughts about Candace Owens? I like Candace Owens. Like, a lot of people are turning on her. I haven't watched much of the newer stuff, but Candace has always been nice to me. If she's doing stuff that's unpopular right now, then like, yeah, I'll watch it and I'll see what it is. But it's like, she's been nice to me. I don't know what that is. And also, she like Alex Jones, have been right before her time. And I think, even if it sounds outrageous, I'm not going to say, hey, that sounds outrageous. I don't believe it right now. Because Alex Jones with the frogs getting turned gay. What was it? Candace Owens and the French prime minister's wife or whatever it was. It's like, that sounds wild and outrageous. And the more you heard about it, you're like, wait a minute. I don't know. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying I'm not going to discount it because I'm not as invested in this thing as they are. Again, I know she's an entertainer, a shock jock of sorts, the same way Alex Jones is, so you don't take all of it. But again, I'm not going to discount everything. And from the way I see it, she may be getting paid by a certain thing, but I know people that don't like her are definitely getting paid by another certain thing. And I've seen it, especially about like the Iran war. This is separate from her. But the Iran war, you can tell which accounts are paid for because they are unflinchingly in support of it, and other accounts that are unflinchingly against it, where it's like a conservative MAGA account is essentially saying left-wing propaganda points. And now you have this diehard right-wing account saying, you know, essentially like rhino warmongering points. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to generate my opinion based on what I heard a trusted account say. I'll believe what I see for myself, and I'm gonna have a lot of blind spots because obviously I try not to be connected to the internet nonstop. Vigo Dop says, this is a classic case of insubordination that could cost lives. They're talking about the person that leaked that we didn't say both pilots. Zoidberg, we talked about this live when we talked about it there. Yes, sailors selling secrets. Zoidberg says, off topic, but Ray is the best kicker of all time. Who is he, Ray? Actually, I don't even know who this guy is. Let's see. Ray. Is he a fictional football player? Yeah. Oh, is that Ace Ventura? I don't know anything about that. JKK says, same thing with Reagan was shot in 81 by John Hinckley. Okay. Before my time. JJK says, I'm excited that New York City turning into dangerous again, like back when they made The Warriors and Escape from New York. It's nostalgic. It's nostalgic if you're not there. If you were there, it'd be terrifying. Like I said, with my old job, when I was working like downtown LA, bad places, I was like, this will be a funny story to talk about when I'm later on, when I'm not in danger. But as long as I'm still working here, I'm always going to be lightly afraid of getting knifed up, or like I've had people, coworkers, get accidentally hit with syringes. So it's like, yeah, it's fun when you're not there. T Alexander RJ with a super huge super chat, which I think I don't know what NOK is. What's NOK? But it's gonna be $50 US because that's the the color of it. Some Norwegian Norwegian money for cop syrup. Yeah, I was choking on my I was trying to eat jerky and just some of it I inhaled it. It was bad. JJK says, "Oh no, I voted for the I voted for the pro-crime politician, and now everything's like Mad Max. Shucks, well, ain't that something?" Exactly. Oh no, I voted for like socialism, and it's not working out the way they promised it was going to work out. It's working out how it's worked out every single time socialism was attempted in human history. Oh no, I voted for the defund the police, and now I don't feel safe. The politicians still have like 150 cops dedicated to their security detail, but now I can't walk my dog at night. I've heard this story told many a times in real life. And sad to say, these people will leave these areas and say, oh my god, like LA got so bad. But I'm not a racist. I'm not a Trump supporter, so of course I'm going to vote blue no matter who. Okador says, super chat, off topic but funny, have you seen the woke Skyrim by Dr. Fox Otic? What's your thoughts on it? Let's see. Woke Skyrim? Yeah, we probably watch it right now. Let's see. Disclaimer, this game issues surrounding race, discrimination, and speech. If you're affected by this kind of the game, please calmly turn off your gaming device and get yourself to a nearby safe space and immediately call an ambulance and a qualified university-graduated therapist/counselor. Okay.
D, it's me, Lydia. I need you to wake up, D.
Lydia?
You're finally woke.
Where am I? What is this place?
Welcome to Skyrim, D.
Hey, this fool finally woke. My name's Ralph, and my pronouns are Z, you dig. You got caught speaking hate speech, right? Same as us.
Now we're in jail.
And Wall over there.
Focus, D. Listen to them talk.
You, Mr. Far Right. And I was not speaking hate speech. I was telling the guards my name, and they misheard me. You see, my first name is Nick. Second
oh my
name
god,
no.
This
was all a big misunderstanding. My friend here tried to explain the situation and got roped into this too.
Anytime, Nick.
We all fall right now, homie.
Cool it with the microaggressions back there.
Hey, freak you!
Not
That
trying to
horse
kink
has a
shame
pink
or anything,
mane.
but what's up with
They all
that
have pink
cat?
manes.
Why are they gagged? Shut your ass up, fool. This homie right here is Ja Ulfric, the realest high king in Wall of Skyrim.
I never played Skyrim, so I don't know these references.
Don't use that word. It belongs to the Dark Elves. It's not your word to use. I'm darker than you, ain't I? Plus it's our word, and we reclaiming that slur. Oh, you silly Stormcloak. Why are you so
Nah, it's
racist?
going too far. Oh, it's 10 minutes? I thought it was 1 minute. Never mind. Okay, it was decent. Thanks for that, though. Another DEI concert, yeah. It's a hood classic at this point. It's only like a week old. But yeah, didn't really mean to go this long. I had another topic, but honestly, 3 hours is pretty good for us. Anything else you think I need to cover before we sign off right here? Yeah, we're live right now. It's just, typically go 3 hours. I feel like I probably could go like 5 hours, take like a break, walk away, and come back. Yeah, Decoy is far right now. Honestly, I don't even think I'm far right. Like, I'm not a diehard Trump guy either. There's things that I don't like about it, and most of the other Republicans I'm not into. I am not a America first. I am a America only person, and we should get back to that. I didn't see Kanye at SoFi. The stage was dope. I'm getting old. I'm just not a big fan of that many people. Traffic on the way in, traffic on the way out. I like Kanye, but I don't think I like any artist that much to deal with it. I kind of do appreciate concerts in Vegas, because it's all like very, you can walk to it, you know? I'm big on that. Yeah, I'll rate other people after the stream. Let's see. Conservatives, right of center, a little bit, that's what you are, yeah. No, I also don't like the libertarians, I'll tell you right now. I think the libertarians got issues as well. See, I think I can rate, what is it? Yeah, Zach Raw is on. So we'll probably raid Asmongold on... Yeah, he's on Kick and that. Let's see. I always forget how to do it. Do it. "24-hour just chatting stream." Honestly, these are like just chatting streams. I got some topics, but, you know, for the most part, I try to do topics for it. Let's see. Raid, Zach. So we're going to raid Asmongold in 10 seconds. So thanks for hanging out as long as you have, guys. I'll see you next time. Wait. Raid. Wait. How do I raid in this one? How do I raid on Kick? Alright guys, thanks for hanging out.